big black guy started riding around the rally in circles. So we're looking at him like, what's going on here? And then he says to me, today I'm going to kill a white man. Now we know he made that up, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it just goes to show you that, I don't know, in my opinion, these people are just irretrievably, they can't be redeemed. So what you're looking for until they can, if something like this can't snap them out of it and make them look and see, you know what? Perhaps we're going the wrong route here. Like we gotta we gotta reroute this thing some kind. And they're not. They're gonna continue on operate. There's gonna be a new
Oh,
Charlie
no, it's
Kirk.
gonna get worse.
It's gonna get
It's gonna get worse.
worse.
Yeah, it's gonna get worse. No question. It's gonna get
So
worse.
Can I comment on that?
No,
Because
no,
can
y'all
y'all
go
hear me
ahead.
by the way?
Let this be an open forum. I don't.
So
This ain't about me.
like so I mean the part I struggle with, right, is that when we're talking about moving forward, you instantly are forced to like have to imagine a reality that you want. Right now, you can incorporate as much of history as you would like for it to, but for the most part, the exercise is technically happening in your mind. Right now, you're trying to use reality to kind of sort out how practical it is, but even in your mind, like it's like you're even in your mind, it's hopeless. Like that's a little troubling to me, right? So like if I asked you to visualize yourself in 10 years, you're not going to expound on all the things that hold you back. You're going to say, I'm going to accomplish this, I'm going to accomplish that, I'm going to accomplish this. I'm doing all of that in spite of the adversity, right? Like I'm not ignoring that they're there, but if I had to do it my way, I'm going to think positively about myself and put myself in the position I want to be in, right? But some kind of way when it comes to like society, we got this kind of, I'm not gonna say it's unnecessarily true or like overemphasized, but I'm saying like if that's all we're doing is trying to imagine a reality moving forward, like even in practice, our even in our imagination, it's hopeless to be like there can be a society where we're not necessarily people like or in full cooperation or some shit, but like at least can live alongside each other. Like is that like unreasonable at this point? Because that's what I struggled with that day when we talked about the bomb in Katrina, right? Like it is a struggle, and it is, it would make you say, it definitely makes me say, well, if that's the game we playing, like we would have to reroute. You know what I'm saying? We would absolutely have to some kind of way level the playing field. You know what I'm saying? We can't be the only people subjected to rules if y'all ain't got no rules and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough. It's super tough. I don't really know. I mean, it's very difficult for a human exercise because of course you want to include examples and your life history and all that kind of stuff, but it's tough, right? Like, so for me, the challenge would be like, so how do I actually find hope for this movement, right? Like, where is the actual hope? And not necessarily like in his death, but like I would have to say his death is ugly because I want society to look different, right? Because if I don't, then I'm almost begging to just have more of it, but constructed in a way that benefits me. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm fine with it happening as long as it's benefiting me. That would be like the opposite of what you'd be saying there. So that's my struggle, right? You can't. It's like it's so difficult to land in a place. No, I don't think it's difficult. I think that it's actually not that difficult if you desire, right, to land in a place where all of that's happening in your mind. How do you feel about that, Has? I guess I'm specifically talking to you because I think your outlook is a little bit more. You're a little bit more certain that you can't work with it, right? That's why I'm saying.
I mean, I'm not a nihilist, right? And I think everybody wants to. I believe. Well, no, everybody doesn't want to see a world where everyone is getting along. That's not true. but I certainly,
Not true at all.
yeah, I certainly want to see that. You know what I mean? Even if you hear me spew certain rhetoric and you hear me making jokes about rolling people up in packs and all of that. The thing is, I didn't know Trayvon people personally because I lived in Miami Gardens. That's where he's from. But I knew of them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when that incident happened, it hit home for me in a different kind of way. And when I watched that trial and just how everybody just got on one accord in terms of just rigging the entire process, it 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 it, it made me just feel like the world that you're hoping to see and that I'm hoping to see, I just don't think is tenable. Logic, right? And for a guy to get on to say publicly that Trayvon Martin hunted George Zimmerman, that's not an opinion. That's literally saying that today is Tuesday, right? You're literally distorting material reality just to promote your racist agenda. Like, I could deal with the IQ stuff, and like, if a person were to say to me, I think black people are just intrinsically intellectually or cognitively inferior to white folks, I'm not gonna get worked up about that. But when your hatred is so deep that you're distorting like actual reality, like that's just another level. Like, the dispatch told that man, do not engage that boy. And that's a child, right? You have a weapon. You're an adult. You outweigh him. For anybody to take that and distort that into Trayvon Martin, like, you're trolling. And no, man.
No, and I get that. So when I start getting that feeling, I give myself a bit of a backdrop. Now, I'm not even sure, like, to some degree, some of the backdrop may not even be like fully flushed out because I haven't like looked at it the way I should have. But my backdrop is all the abolitionist movements that weren't necessarily led by black people, right? You absolutely have, what I'm saying? You got the parliament arguments over in England. You got the local people over in England that was like fighting against the colonialism of India, and like those scenarios to me, right, are human beings rising to the occasion, regardless of like what color they are. Like, there were voices out there that weren't talking about it's wrong because of whatever. No, they were taking the moral standpoint of, bro, these people is human. You know what I'm saying? Y'all fucking over them because they less organized or technology, blah blah blah. And if it wasn't for those movements, like, our voices at the time weren't even loud enough to get some traction. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's hard for me. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to neglect that actually happened, and then it played a major role in a lot of other things, right? So, like, for me, it's hard for me to see it as being impossible when I see that there are instances where it does happen. Now, how do I like maybe stimulate it to happen again? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't really got an answer for that. But I can't go on with the full certainty that they're incapable of doing it. They did it on their own already.
Who's the they you keep talking about?
I'm talking about the abolitionist movements that happened in Europe.
No, I know you was talking about abolitionists. But with the they, are you
Yes.
white people?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
My point is clear. I mean, I'd like to hear from every. This can't really be like a back and forth. I like to hear where other people stand on this, but like I said,
Yeah, I want to hear other people's views too.
yeah, this is once we
me
get
and Haskell, we probably agree more than I'd like to admit, but you know what I'm saying? I feel like I gotta have some kind of backdrop that I like. I don't want to lose my faith in humanity, bro. I feel like losing that is really losing it. Like that's the pure darkness. I definitely am not trying to like. Yeah, because that would make everything a lie.
For me, I don't know nothing about Charlie Kirk. Even when I tried to look into him last night and even this morning, I was just completely disinterested. So I don't know what that is. Like, he don't stir nothing in me that even him getting shot don't stir nothing in me to make me want to fix the country or humanity. I don't even understand what the fuck is going on. I mean, black people get killed by gun violence, you know, like constantly. Like, so for me to give a fuck about Charlie Kirk and what it means to the country, that means that I don't give a fuck about black people. That means that black people don't fucking matter if I'm gonna sit here and give a fuck about how Charlie Kirk lost his fucking life when hundreds of black people in our cities and towns lose their life to gun violence. You know what I mean? Like, black people can mean mug each other, and next thing you know, somebody can lose their fucking life. They can have words over the internet and motherfucker lose their life. So why would I give a fuck about Charlie Kirk? Like,
I don't think anybody nobody in this room gives a fuck about Charlie Kirk.
I'm asking for, myself, like,
oh, okay.
Because I was saying I can't find the energy to, you know what I mean, to even know who the fuck he was. It would be, for me, it would be like, so what do we say about the gun violence and the murder and shit that happens on a constant basis to us? Nobody can. People talk about the sending the troops in to Chicago, and I argue with black people because I sit there and say, yo, we need it. Like, are y'all crazy? Like, if we
say that again,
we need the fucking troops.
The troops, like, where?
In all fucking black towns where all of this gang violence and all that. Obviously, the local police can't do it. They can't fix it. You feel me? Who's gonna stop niggas from killing each other? Like, their lives matter. Look, their lives matter more than the supposed rights that's going to get or uncomfortability that the troops is going to impose on other citizens. I'm saying that if black lives really fucking mattered, then black people should be screaming for the government to bring in assistance to stop the murder of black people. Like, I just don't even understand why we saying that the troops shouldn't be there. Because if the troops are not there, the police can't handle it. Black people can't handle it. What is the black authority in the black community? Who do we go to? The church? The church can't stop it. The church been there. You know what I mean? Our political leaders can't stop it. The parents can't stop it. You feel me? So the government supposed to sit back and say, no, if we send troops in there, black people gonna be mad and scream racism. So don't do that. So I guess we gotta just sit back and let them just keep dying in the streets like dogs. I mean, that's good for black citizens, right? You know what I mean? These people are black citizens. Just let them keep killing each other in the streets like dogs. They can't help it, right? They can't help themselves. If we try to help, they're going to scream racist. What the fuck supposed to happen? I'm just, I just don't. We don't have no. What I'm saying is we don't have no solutions to our problems. So how the fuck is we gonna have solutions to white problems? Right? That like Charlie Kirk getting killed, how somebody feel about it. What? Like, how could black people even look what we do? Like, I don't know. That's my piece.
We keep making it black and white because that's the easy way to do it. I'm gonna say this again. I don't give a fuck about Charlie Kirk. Most of y'all just think y'all don't know nothing about him. Y'all think he's just talking. That nigga created a hate. He created a hate group. Turning Point USA.
We created the Kirk.
No, I ain't talking about no gang. I'm talking about like Turning Point USA is a federally funded youth political organization. Like it's MAGA on steroids.
That shit MAGA don't hurt steroids. Us though.
No, it does hurt us because that's he hurts us in a way. He doesn't hurt us in a way of Turning Point USA mobilizes the things that we talk about, the things that we actually complaining about, the school reform, the shit in schools. They back candidates that back policies that go against that. So he's actually like, he's not killing one person in the street. He's actually supporting policy that hits. He could be doing this in Florida. That shit hits all the entire United States. So it's worse. So I don't give a fuck about him. I don't give a fuck about his politics. And he kept campaigning on hate, and he finally got elected. He got exactly what he wanted. He got to see the hate that he was spewing put back at him. I'm not talking about black and white though. What I'm talking about is motherfuckers getting, this ain't no fucking video game where motherfuckers, we just supposed to turn on Instagram, turn on the TV, and then yesterday it was Charlie Kirk, tomorrow motherfucking was in any politician, any kind of person, because there are people that agree with Charlie Kirk. So to them, they're up in arms, this and the other. Now, there's people that we agree with the AOC, and we agree with different politicians and different people that start groups. And then are they supposed to die too? No, you ain't supposed to die for that shit. Just campaign on your shit, win, lose, or draw, right? But now him dying, don't nobody give a fuck about that. But when we get to the point where motherfuckers is just dying on camera and we just, okay, and then go watch a cat video, at some point the shit gotta be like, it's gotta register. We so numb from death, it's wild. Now this Chicago thing, maybe that's a whole nother show we could do, but I fully disagree with you with that. And I don't know what y'all argument's been. The soldiers ain't for citizens. Soldiers is to protect us from external forces, not to be employed on U.S. soil. That's the worst thing that could happen if we start trying to solve problems here on U.S. soil with the military. Military is a hammer. Anybody that's in the military will tell you, if you employ the military on Chicago streets, on kids and on crime, this and the other, it'll disproportionately affect Black people specifically. And then the other part is, them niggas see everything as a nail. So U.S. citizens, we're not used to how the military operates. You think the police is bad?
That's the point.
The military is, yeah, but they're 10 times worse.
That's the point.
No, hell no. Maybe I don't want to fuck up this because we go off into another point, but we could definitely have that conversation. We could definitely another time, I guess. But soldiers ain't for police and civilians. We wouldn't even know. You'll see some shit on TV that'll change your mind immediately. If you saw a motherfucking Marine dealing with a 16-year-old, they're not gonna say. They're not even gonna.
What they do when they go overseas to other countries is I would have guessed that's not what we want them doing on American streets. Like if it certainly wouldn't be an alternative to police brutality. I don't believe that.
That should have make Derek Chauvin look tame. you'll be looking at the George Floyd's death like it was nothing.
Now that's me taking a guess, but if I had to guess, they're gonna do the same thing that they do when they go to Syria.
Logic. There's laws in place. There's shit in the I could look it up, but there's shit in the Constitution for shit like that. The military was not supposed to ever be used on civilians. They've tried to stop that shit.
Yeah, them niggas are trained to deal with terrorists.
Yeah, they're not trained to deal with humans. No, they're not trained to deal with American citizens. I won't say humans. But what y'all niggas think about it? I mean, everybody's so fucking gangster in the chat. This is what happens. We do these shows and everybody talk all this shit in the chat and this, that, and the third, and then we go live and nobody got a motherfucking mumbling word to say. Nobody. Everybody just let brass.
Yeah, I mean for whatever it's worth, I don't wholeheartedly disagree with Chef. Wholeheartedly, I don't. I'm about 95% disagreement, but 5% I'd like to see some progress. I'd like to see something change. I don't know if I want to see the military do it. I don't know if that would be the change we're looking for necessarily.
That's because fixing the problem ain't gonna be pretty. And fixing the problem like that ain't gonna look the way that y'all want it to look. You feel like that's just the basic fucking truth. You know what I mean? If we would change is never gonna look the way that. How can you dress that up? You feel me? You can't, man.
Is it possible that it could like curve the killings and crime? Yes, but like
that's all we want. That's all we want.
No, but then we want the wrong thing. If all we want, Chef, is to curb the killings, then them motherfuckers can never leave. You gotta at some point address the actual problem. The shit that you talk about all the time, Chef. The schools, the community, the environment, the this, that, and the other. Once you employ them to curb the killings, then what? It's not like so they're gonna have to be there forever because the situation ain't gonna change, the environment ain't gonna change, the schooling ain't gonna change. The father that's a GD that got a child that's a GD, like this shit ain't that's the part that needs to change. Not employ the military so we can just stop the killings for a while. They do that with the police. The killings go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. When that lady, that funny looking lady, what's her name? Lightfoot was the mayor. The shit was going down. Then it went right back up. The shit goes up, it goes down. But at the end of the day, the shit you talk about, it's the overarching problems. When we had these IQ conversations and we be talking about, what's the shit that it's a word y'all always use, but it's the shit outside of IQ that's the determinative factors. When they keep saying, "Oh, it's the genetics and biology," it's the other thing.
The
environment and the that shit. The environment's not going to change. You got to fix that shit. You got to get to the root of it if you want anything that's going to last. They tried
First, you gotta pull.
Go ahead.
First, you gotta pull niggas off of each other. If I come in your house and if your house is on fire, but you and your family is fighting tooth and nail, you dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta think of what is the biggest problem to y'all physical survival right now? It would be the fucking fire. Like we can't even figure out. First, we gotta put the fire out. If people are just running around the streets, shooting and killing each other, we gotta fix that first. The danger to the human life is more of a necessity to fix than some other shit. You feel me? The first thing you gotta do is stop people from dying. Y'all don't agree? Like, how do you start talking about schools if the kids can't even go to school peacefully? If they're worried about life and death, like seeing each other be murdered in the street, and y'all want to talk about political shit? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it like when I walk into a situation, I deal with the most strenuous thing first. The detrimental thing that, and y'all talking about political stuff and you gotta fix this and what? You gotta stop niggas from killing each other first. Like, y'all don't believe that? Y'all think
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's
Well, I just feel like
it's not really.
I feel
Let
like the
Mel
things
get
that
in
stop
there
them
after
from
that
killing
part.
each other. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to hear because it'll just be me, you, and Chef talking all morning. I can't do that shit today. Go ahead, Mel.
Yeah, to me, it's not really realistic. Like, there has to be like some incentive for anyone to get involved with something like that. The reason why they don't is because there's no incentive, and you got to look at it from the opposite side. Like, there's no incentive for them to get involved. They come in, clean up the shit, and go back to wherever they were. But getting involved isn't beneficial unless there's something behind it that's encouraging that. Then sure, But otherwise, it's not beneficial. So it's not really realistic. We're talking here, especially about like having police or military at this point try to come and fix things when we don't even want to police our own neighborhoods. So if we're not willing to do the work, why should we expect someone else to that doesn't have a vested interest?
Yeah, but
Yeah, for me,
we're not the government. Like we're not the government, and we're talking about citizens. If other citizens is running through the streets, right, shooting each other, endangering the lives of everybody else, killing other citizens, y'all telling me that the government don't have a duty to protect the citizens at all costs?
They just don't have an interest.
Like if I'm an American, right? I feel as though the government should do everything in their power to protect the goddamn citizens. But for some reason, Black people don't feel like they're citizens, because any other people that this was happening to, I guarantee you, they'll, yeah.
But you know what? Like,
we
Chef,
don't even matter to each other.
You don't even see the trick bag though. The trick bag. Because the actual trick bag is what you should ask yourself is the shit you always, bro. You smarter than the shit that you're saying right now. Why the fuck do they even care about Chicago? Chicago ain't the motherfucking. If we so focused on saving Black lives and keep people being able to go to school, ask yourself why they so fucking focused on Chicago. That ain't the motherfucking leading murder rate in the United States, and it ain't been for a long time. Why they ain't in St. Louis? Why they not in Baltimore? Why they not in Memphis? Why they not in Louisiana? Because they don't give a fuck about them places. So when you're talking about
Chicago, I'm talking about
murder rate. You said
murder rate. So I'm really
kids
talking about
kids.
Yeah, I'm talking about all of these Chicago places. But I'm talking. How do you get focused in on the only reason because it was the thing in the news about him sending troops into Chicago?
Right, but
when
why
I'm
is
talking
he
about
sending troops into Chicago?
I'm talking about all of the Black gang
I
violence
know,
and
I
murder.
know, I know.
Man, y'all trying to
I
make
know
Chef
that.
sound like he crazy. He ain't crazy, bro.
No,
It's
I
not
know,
me.
Chef.
And
My
he
point.
basically called you dumb just now, Chef. He said you smarter than this, Chef. This is what I'm
You
saying. How
just
come niggas
see,
can
look.
have difference of opinion without the shots being thrown? Like,
You know, the funny thing is, Chef
that's what I'm
ain't
saying,
thinking.
bro.
No. Let me say what you actually saying. Me and Chef could talk to each other like that, right? And he know that I'm not thinking he dumb. He know, but you will say some shit like that to change the conversation into what you just said you don't want to happen. Like you actually instigate into shit into something else. He ain't take that shit personal. See that, but neither here nor there. My overarching point though, Chef, is that there's a part of the reason why you really don't want to employ the military and U.S. citizens is something separate.
Yeah.
But why do you think that's some
My
Democratic
point is,
Republican dumb shit? That's some Democratic
Chef, is like
Republican
that.
shit. They focus in on Chicago because it's the third largest city. They
That
focus in
can't
on
A lot of this
be
shit.
like the only
You
way.
don't agree with the masses or whatever,
Only
you're
that.
gonna get beat up by your own people.
Logic. I don't know if you can hear us, but can you hear us?
I thought
He cutting out too.
I want the
Yeah.
troops. I'm a fucked up black person because I want the troops. Matter of fact, I wanted the troops when niggas didn't want to take the vaccine.
But why they want to
I'm
send
that
them to
type of nigga.
Chicago, Chef?
Can y'all hear me or am I still breaking up?
No, you can't hear us, and we could. Your every other sentence we can hear. We can't hear what you're really saying. But
I can
why
hear him clear
Chicago?
now.
Yeah, we can hear you now. But do you understand what I'm saying, Haskell? That whole sending
Yeah,
troops into Chicago been the
it's a
focus on some political shit. They don't
yeah,
actually give a fuck about
it's a
stopping the
political
murders and crime.
yeah, it's a political football, and like you said, they don't care about what Chef cares about, and you run the risk of it being a slippery slope. If
Yeah,
you send troops in there, it could be jumping out of the frying pan into the fire. I think it's more important to look at cities like Chicago, Memphis, Louisiana, and St. Louis, because I believe last I checked, those are like the top 4 hotspots.
yeah.
I
St.
think it's
Louis, Louisiana, St. Louis, Memphis.
yeah,
Matter of fact,
and
Florida.
Chicago.
It's some shit in Florida too. In the Bronx. All these
Well,
people got higher murder rates than Chicago. Chicago just got more
right,
people. It's just the
right.
third largest city, I'm saying.
But a lot of Chicago violence is concentrated in the South Side and West Sides, right? But
Right.
this is what I want to say is when you look at Chicago, you look at what the murder rate was in the 90s and the early 2000s. It's been a precipitous drop. I we
You
can't
cut
see.
out. You're
Yeah,
cutting
can you
out.
hear
Huh?
me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is, the thing is with human lives. Did y'all hear the part where I said that crime in Chicago has dropped
Yeah,
precipitously
you said it's a
since the
precipitous drop.
90s?
Yeah.
Right. So what I would say to people like Chef and people who see it like he does, right? Anything more than one murder is too much, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But we also know that it's never going to be a case where there's 0 murders. It's just never going to happen. But I think we don't give ourselves, Black Americans don't give themselves enough credit. And I think sometimes because our lives are short, a human life is really short, right? You don't notice the change happening, right? And now that we have social media, so much of part, like Black people are the violence is steadily decreasing. And I feel I'm of the opinion that we're getting it together. It might not seem that way, but it's a slow process. So that's what I would say to that. Now, one more thing, I'm gonna land my plane. The whole
Mhm.
thing about having an opinion, right? I know Fetty wasn't in here earlier when I said this, and I want him to know I'm not gonna get into any back and forth, we going crazy or anything like that. I typed what I typed in the chat yesterday because I felt that way, and I still feel that way. But someone, for example, the guy co-signed a preacher who espoused the idea that black people are intrinsically servile and that slavery was good for us and that it may not be a bad thing for it to return. right? Now, those are opinions, right? And in the case of Charlie, he said that Trayvon Martin hunted down George Zimmerman. I wanted to repeat this so Fetty could hear. That's not an opinion. That's a distortion of material reality.
But you
Today is
tried to
Friday.
use that one
Real quick, real quick,
situation and
real quick.
undermine my overall point, and you acting like you
I'm
didn't
almost,
understand that. I'm like, cool, bro,
Let him
cool.
land right
I'm
quick,
I'm
almost
Fetty.
not
finished.
tripping
I'm
off that.
almost finished. I'm
All
almost
right.
finished. I'm almost
I mean, you
finished.
brought my name up. I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, you're gonna have a chance to, of course, rebut, but yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. Where was I? So yeah, when you say that Trayvon Martin hunted down uh, Zimmerman, that's not an opinion. That's a distortion of material reality. Today is Friday,
Do you not?
right?
Okay, but do you?
Hold
What
on.
is my
No,
overall
no,
premise? Does that change the
I'm
fact
a
that
mute.
people have differences of opinion and they're celebrating his death based
Hold on.
off that differences of opinion? You trying to play the semantic games of what do you trying to go to a Trayvon Martin case, right? Which again, I'm not tripping off
Fetty,
that
I'm a
that
mute out.
one.
I'm a mute out. I'm a mute out
All
when
right.
I'm done. I promise. I'm almost there. Um. So yeah, I was saying that today is Friday. So someone
He
can't come
left.
to me and,
Yeah, yeah,
huh?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
someone
no,
can't
no, yeah,
come
yeah,
to
he did.
me.
He left.
Yeah, yeah, someone can't come to me and say it's Tuesday. And then when I say, no, you're ridiculous, then they return with, well, it's just my opinion. No, it's not your opinion. You, you're either insane or you're purposely warping reality to push some sort of narrative or agenda. So that's the end of my spiel.
I wanna did anybody else want to respond to that before I finish it?
Well, real quickly, I just wanted to put back on the table before we get too far
I
off
thought
the mic.
Fetty was gonna
So
respond to that.
he
I
didn't
thought
step up
that
and
was
say nothing. I'm
Fetty.
gonna be real
Oh,
quick.
he said,
So,
and
so
him and Fetty was
I
having that
just feel
discussion.
like I think he actually left. He ain't saying nothing.
No, he
Betty,
really.
you there?
Nah, he had a phone call, probably phone call or something. He
Yeah,
right.
I
He
was
right
just gonna
there.
say.
He left for a second.
Oh, yeah, okay.
No,
Yeah,
go
I
ahead.
just wanted to
Right.
say, like, with the military part, right? Um, I feel like yes, I would like to see some change happen, and I don't necessarily see that as it, right? I think even if you play that out, you still have all the ingredients there that led to the problem in the first place. Only difference is you got the military standing in the way of it happening, but they're still poor. They still, what I'm saying, they're still undereducated. They're still, all those other situations don't change just because the military is there. That's my big problem. But that would go that. I just want to make sure I put that part back into the conversation. Oh yeah.
Can you hear
I
me?
was tripping.
Can y'all hear me?
It's actually
Yeah,
Thursday.
we.
Yeah.
I
So again, I'm not tripping off what you said, Haskell, but you saying that undermines again what I was trying to say regarding being in a society again to where like you're a person is promoting the death or after somebody get assassinated based off somebody having a difference of opinion. You try to go to a particular situation and say, well, what he said right here is an opinion, but the overall climate is that when a person has certain ideas or whatever and they trying to get their shit off, it's basically an unhealthy way to promote that type of shit because we are supposed to like promote healthy dialogue. A person going to college campuses and talk, whether you don't agree with it or not, we still need to be in a society to where these things need to be talked about in a healthy manner and addressed. But if we in a society to where motherfucker can get popped, sniped in the neck for having differences of opinion, we're playing a dangerous game because I think politically there's so many ways you can go with it because I'm looking at it like, okay, again, I don't care about the individual. I don't care about Kirk. You know what I'm saying? I never even heard about him like that, but before then. But I'm saying this situation can bleed over into a larger problem if we don't nip this shit in the bud. Like, and I'm gonna blame. Look, I got the same smoke for extreme conservatives who, say if Kamala was to get popped in the neck on camera, they'll be celebrating her death too. So it's like it's a climate of I don't agree. Well, so I'm gonna wish the worst for you, and I don't agree with that. Like, and we're in danger of a lot of shit taking place in the future if we don't address shit like that. So that's all
I
I'm
don't
saying.
I don't think and I don't know if you meant to use these words or you used them by mistake. I don't think the shit that Charlie Kirk was talking about was healthy
No, I'm saying
dialogue.
taboo topics, bro. Like, because you know me, a person talking about taboo topics, even though a person may disagree with me, I still think you need to create an environment, even though you can hate the person sitting across you. But if you can't deal with them in an intellectual manner and you trying to wish death upon them and all that shit, I just think that's fuck shit to me. You know what I'm saying? Even when I saw the amount of black people wishing when Kevin Samuels died. Get him out of here. Good riddance. Like, bro, this is crazy. Like, so I've been saw the climate of people who got certain, very controversial opinions or whatever, and certain people just on the other side is just wishing the worst for that person instead
Yeah,
of really having to die. Go ahead.
No, I'm not gonna cut you off. Finish.
No, I'm good. I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay. Kevin Samuels just died. He didn't get shot.
No, I'm
Um,
again, bro. Do you get what I'm saying regarding a
no,
person
that's what I
with a
was saying. Go
strong
ahead.
opinion, right? Not the causation of how they died, but the fact that they died and they're celebrating. Just because he was saying things that a lot of people weren't comfortable with, whether you liked it or not. That's all I was saying, bro.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. If a grown person wants to put him in a pack and smoke him and all of that, that's what grown people do. I don't really even give a fuck what grown people do. I just don't. I have an issue with kids seeing that shit over and over again, and I have an issue with we're starting to fall, and this is where I would agree with Chef. We're starting to fall. His life ain't no more important than anybody else's life, and the nigga was preaching on things that um some you very well know you out in the open speaking some of the shit that you're saying something may happen, right? But in the same token, I'm not gonna knock a person for being upset about it. My thoughts is just I remember Columbine, bro, and I remember what it was like. I remember what the reaction was, and I saw I see how far we've gotten when it comes to school shootings. We'll see the shit and just move the fuck on. When we get to the point where motherfuckers is just getting hit, politicians for all intents and purposes, niggas, and it was a hate group, so he's a bad example of what it was. I wish it was. I ain't gonna say that either, but this
I've
ain't
never
about.
seen these extreme talking points, like even like when Trump won. I've never seen the amount, especially of social media, the political landscape, and the opinions people be having if they disagree with you. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to lump all of this into a bigger picture. Y'all may not want to do that. Y'all might want to just separate this situation and address it. But I'm trying to look at this situation and look at patterns I already saw in the past dealing with politics, taboo topics, and people not respecting the fact that, again, I don't care if a person has a certain opinion, but if he's going to college campuses and doing it in a way that isn't like inflicting direct violence or whatever on a person, bro, I don't give because if that's the case, look at all these black people who promote hate on the other side, such and such the devil, this and that. If they get popped, I would have sympathy for them as well, even though I disagree with them. So it's like I got that same energy for anybody who might get popped on camera.
Yes.
Healthy dialogue is disagreeing and debating on topics where you got some kind of like a difficult issue, transgenders, abortions, things like that. But you saying facts, he's saying facts, and then y'all move to another place and y'all trying to get a healthy dialogue is where you try to get to some form of understanding in the end, right? Even if the understanding is I believe what I believe, but I see what you're saying, and I believe what you believe. I believe what I believe, and I see what you're saying. That's two people talking to each other. That's a healthy dialogue. What that nigga was doing was he was mobilizing hate.
I don't know.
He
I'm
was
not really familiar with
mobilizing
him, but
hate.
I keep hearing that he was willing to have dialogues with people that disagree with him, especially like the youth. Like a lot, I
Yeah,
don't
but it
really know him
wasn't
like that.
healthy. Nah, but it wasn't healthy.
No, I'm
That's what I'm
saying he
trying
was
to.
willing to sit down He was willing
and
to
call
sit
a and
down.
call a and call a
No,
transgender a
I'm saying
monster.
again. You know the video, right? With the dude, the capitalist dude, talking to
Yeah, 20. Yeah, he did 20v1s. Yes, he
that's
did
the
20v1s.
equivalent in a lot of ways of him having that same, I guess, having a dialogue, right? Talking to 20 people who don't agree with capitalism. The nigga get popped. I don't know, bro. It's like you could apply this situation to other situations who have like people who got certain opinions on shit. And would you have that same energy? That's all I'm saying. Like, it's not a white or black, not a white or black thing to me, bro.
Are there
It's more
opinions
so of a person being able to have a difference of opinion and being able to hash it out and have a good dialogue over it. Whether you think what he's saying is outlandish
Hold
or
on,
not.
Haskell. Hold on, Haskell.
My bad.
How could a motherfucking? But how is it a healthy dialogue? How do you start a healthy dialogue?
I'm saying we need to be in a society to where taboo topics need to be had, bro.
Okay, but a taboo topic, yeah, but I can't have a healthy dialogue with a motherfucker if anywhere in the conversation he says Trayvon Martin was hunting George Zimmerman. What the hell are we supposed to talk about after that?
So, okay, so if that's the case, if Chief X was to get popped on camera, would you celebrate his death?
I don't look at Chief X ain't never started no political organization. Why are you bringing up?
No, I'm just saying, like, again, a person talking about you, like, I would disagree and be a little upset, but it's not going to leave me in such an emotional state to where I can't still have the conversation. That's all I'm saying.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's not all he. But that's not all he did.
You must. I feel you.
That's not all he did.
I feel you.
You don't know.
I mean, you brought it up. I mean, you brought up that example. I mean, I'm not saying
no. The reason why I'm saying that. No, the reason I'm saying with Charlie Kirk started a political organization to put some of this shit into policy.
He actually affects the policy. He actually affected policy. Yeah, they talked about it's the record, and they attributed all to Charlie Kirk. They said that without Charlie Kirk, Trump wouldn't have the youth ear like he does. The white youth, right? The way that he does have the white youth ear, without that, right? And furthermore, like most people like that, like with Fetty is saying, I can tell like you wasn't familiar with Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, no.
You didn't listen to none of the shit he said or none of that. You just
I
get familiar with it.
No, I watch like the shit y'all talking about. Like he could say or do all of that, but I'm going back to the part where like celebrating the killing and being desensitized in a way.
I don't know if anybody's celebrating it though. Like when we we never have like the conversation in an honest manner. Like in any situation, like America's fucked up. Like as far as how we retain information. And how we disseminate information, right? And even opinions, right? We so fucked up because like the shit he said caused hundreds, probably thousands of deaths already, right? But we don't look at that. We got the American flag flying at half staff right now about Charlie Kirk. But all of those school shootings, how many school shootings has it been? And Charlie Kirk and his audience, listen. Charlie Kirk and his audience is saying shit like those are crisis actors. Wild ass shit like that. Got motherfuckers getting followed home and death threats and all the wild shit that him and his audience does. You see what I'm saying? He reaps death. And his activism, the shit that he advocates for, his advocacy is what got him killed. The shit that he advocates for literally got him shot in the neck. You see what I'm saying? And then now we can't say it's not about celebrating. We can't keep it real and say, yo, he got the bullshit that he was looking for.
It's better for society that he's gone. And I mean that sincerely.
Absolutely. It is.
Because that's what I was saying. It's not just a matter of mere opinion. And I was going to pose a question. Can a quote unquote opinion be so odious and so destructive to the overall body politic to where it warrants that person being, I guess, muted? Because think about it like this, right? Hold on, let me finish. think about it like this,
90%
right? And
of
you're
all
right.
political violence is done
You
by the
can
right.
switch that same logic on people that look
And you're
like
right
you and
about
got
that.
wild
I'm trying
ideology.
to
Let
Are
him
you
finish.
gonna
Yeah,
get
yeah.
into
Hold on, real quick.
Let him finish the sentence.
Real
Go
quick,
ahead.
real quick. So the unbelievable irony of what happened yesterday was a young person asked him, and this goes to Corey's point. The person asked him, "Do you He asked him about school shootings and mass shootings, right? And in essence, the person was looking to him to kind of say, okay, what do you think our society needs to do about this? Because clearly there's something wrong here, like in our in our society, like, there's a problem here. And what does Charlie Kirk do? He immediately deflects to black people in a
Yeah.
trolling manner, right? He thinks it's funny. Oh, what did he say? Oh, well, if we're going to include gang shootings, and he felt so satisfied with
He didn't
himself,
even get the word out.
put the mic down and got hit right after that.
No, he didn't even get the word out. That nigga went immediately. They started asking about transgenders and crime. He went immediately into gangs and didn't even finish his fucking sentence.
No, they asked him about mass shootings. He said, like, we have
Yeah,
had
I'm
10
like,
mass.
no, I'm talking about previous to that. The conversation was about somebody. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm saying, well, he got hit right after the question about mass shootings, because what Corey is saying is absolutely right. It's virtually impossible to prove, right? But that sort of speech that he espouses is not just mere opinion. It cultivates a environment of hatred and violence. And then when somebody says to him, "Hey,
And
what do we do
the
about?"
thing about that, Haskell, is he knows that. He knows that better than you know that, right? What you just saying that he cultivates the violence. The fact of the matter is he is very aware of that. Ain't no way you can talk as intelligent as he do. Although he talks bullshit, we know he's intelligent. So he know the shit that he doing. He not doing something on an accident, or he didn't know what he was saying could cause such violence and this and that and the other wild shit. No, he actually calls for political violence. He calls for people to get dead and shit like that. Like, this nigga been doing this shit for 10 years, bro.
Yeah, he said it was a necessary. He said it was a
necessary.
He said it was a necessary sacrifice.
But I don't. But once again, the difference between him, because Fetty said Chief X. Listen, yeah, the motherfuckers on YouTube talking. He was worse than Candace Owens, Shapiro, and some motherfuckers is just talking. So when you saying a motherfucker's supposed to die for just talking, no, I'm saying he's different because that motherfucker actually affected you policy K through 12, math, CRT, shit like that. Turning Point USA, Turning Point Faith, Turning Point. He has different. He's a politician, bro. He's not a. He was a nigga that was talking. I get it, but he was also nigga getting rid of like there was certain. He's not. If you think that he was just talking, then you should probably look into some of the shit that he was actually doing. You're not no Haskell, a motherfucker that's just talking and using rhetoric. Just a human being using rhetoric and talking, they don't deserve to be. If you yell fire in a theater, that's a crime. So I don't think he's the same. What he was doing was borderline. It was right up into criminality. But I'm more focused on the actual shit he was doing, not the shit he was saying. The shit he was doing, and once again, we still don't know why he actually got murdered. We just know he got murdered. We don't know why he got murdered, and I don't give a fuck actually. But in the same token, well, with what I'm saying, Haskell, is that a motherfucker getting murdered on Instagram, white, black, green, yellow, orange, whatever. You could celebrate it. That's your motherfucking choice, whether you celebrate it or not. I really don't give a shit. Mm-hmm. I'm saying that there's other ramifications to that type of shit.
Because think about it like this, right?
Hold on. I'm gonna let my point right here. When we get to a point in society where motherfucking black kids, white kids, any kids, like that shit with Chicago was disturbing me when they started smoking on each other. Like I'm a sick nigga because they done this nigga Tuka died 30 years ago, or however long ago he died. They've been smoking on this nigga for 30 fucking years. That shit ain't cool. That shit ain't no motherfucking, that ain't no, you know his mother's still alive, nigga?
Mhm.
Like that shit wild as hell. So I'm always,
And
my
they
point
showed
is
a clip
always gonna
of
be that.
yesterday. They showed a clip of yesterday last year, yet to the date. This nigga was calling for the death of Dr. Fauci. Yesterday, last year, this nigga was calling for the death of Dr. Fauci, bro. It's wild shit here. That he, Dr.
See, that
Fauci,
is yelling. That is
his
yelling
whole
fire in the
family,
That's
crowd.
his
yelling
whole
fire.
family
That's why I said
That's
receiving
that's
yelling.
death
different.
That's
threats,
That's
yelling
yelling
fire.
fire in
his
the movie theater.
grandkids and
Yeah.
shit.
But you don't get murdered for that though, Haskell. You can go to jail. You can be censored. You could be banned from going to college campuses and shit like that. But shot in the neck is extreme, my nigga. But bro, do you just last week when since Chief X was brought up in the conversation, just last week we got into it with Chief X over motherfucking George Floyd and him saying they weren't wrong and all this, that, and the other. Cool. But if that conversation ended with motherfucking somebody killing him and pointing to this conversation, I'd have shut this Discord down. That ain't what we trying to. That's not
Yeah, but
even
that's
as a
what I'm saying.
society. It
With
ain't
this
what we trying
guy,
to do.
it's not an apples to orange comparison with Chief X and this guy. Though.
No,
That's
I
the
know, but
that's the problem.
I'm speaking to your point of when you said if a motherfucker was if a motherfucker's talking, should they be muted? I'm assuming you meant killed. I don't know
If
if you meant
well,
like
no, not even necessarily killed, but
okay.
like what you were suggesting, like being banned from college
Yeah,
campuses
all
and
that.
stuff.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the bigger issue is that America, at least a critical mass of the society, we know all white people aren't like that, but a critical mass of the society supports that stuff enough to where this man made an industry out of this thing, and he had various backers, various funders of what he was doing. You know what I'm
Worse.
saying? So America got to
Worse.
take a look at itself and say, hey, we
Tucker's
got to
got the
people.
flag flying at half staff for him right now. That should tell you
Yeah,
something.
Hey,
Yeah,
get
no,
this,
he
and
was.
the same
But
people that hate him
Haskell,
actually turning them into
but
a
When that
martyr.
but
They're turning
Haskell,
this
he
man
was
into a martyr.
He was
Obviously, him
worse.
getting
I just
killed.
want to
Hey,
be clear.
when that senator and that's two senators in Minnesota got killed in their home in their bed, they didn't fly no half flag for them. They
They
ain't do
did.
shit.
They did.
No, they didn't.
They
I
did.
don't think they did.
No, they did. I'm telling you, they did. They did.
I don't
When
recall
you
I
that.
say
believe
they,
they
I mean,
did, but
yeah,
if you
yeah,
saying they
yeah.
did, I believe you. But I always
I
thought
don't
they
recall
No,
didn't.
it
I
being
get
like
your,
a
I get your
thing.
point. I'm just saying that they did. Like you don't have. There was politicians that died.
Maybe in
They fly
Minnesota.
that shit for. Yeah, they fly that shit for whatever. Like they fly that shit for that. Flags being
This
in
man
half
called for
mast
this to be
don't have the
flown
same meaning.
nationwide. I don't remember. I didn't see him call for any half flags to be flown nationwide.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck with Trump. You talking about Trump?
In general, just the whole response to it all. Like just we're seeing the playbook right in front of us over and over. All that man
He
did
did a
was
speech
speak to
yesterday.
he
He the one who
to that
confirmed his death.
Yeah, he the one that
Donald
confirmed his
Trump is
death.
the one who confirmed Charlie Kirk's
man's
death
death. Yeah.
yesterday.
But what I'm saying is he spoke the white nationalist playbook to the T. He was the most popular one currently. He's your modern day Rush Limbaugh's and niggas like that. You know what I'm
No, he
saying? Like,
wasn't, bro.
yes, he was. He speak the
No,
same
he
type of
wasn't. He
shit.
was worse. That's
I'm
what I'm
not. I'm
trying to
talking about.
tell
I'm talking
y'all.
about the
Y'all
type of
don't
shit
know
that
who
he
that nigga
spews.
is.
Limbaugh couldn't hold
Y'all
a
really
Popularity.
don't
Limbaugh
know who
couldn't
that
hold a
nigga is.
candle.
Y'all
He
don't know.
couldn't
Y'all have
hold a
no
candle
idea
to
who
Charlie
Y'all
Kirk.
missing what I'm
I get
saying.
what you're saying,
I'm
Sid.
saying
I get what you're saying.
Rush
he was
Limbaugh couldn't
popular for
hold a
that
candle
rhetoric
to Charlie
and
Kirk.
that and
Just to
that
let you
only.
know that.
He was popular for spewing that. Like he had a Rush Limbaugh had a syndicated radio station damn near. Like,
he
but
was.
end of the day, he was in prime gun country on a campus where I think I read you can openly carry on that goddamn campus. Like
Yeah, you
it's
can.
deeper than him being killed for what political opinion he shared. It's more like how look how easy it was for somebody to just walk on a college campus and knock somebody off. Like that's the way bigger issue here. Like look how easy and accessible it is for people to just walk through with firearms. And like he was so gung ho about being able to, he talks to those NRA mugs and appeals to them just fine. Like he even said recently, I don't mind, a few gun deaths a year so we can, keep our 2nd Amendment. Like, bro, like, I don't think he was meaning himself.
Oh no, he said
He wasn't
that.
saying himself was going to be he didn't say himself was going to be to pay the cost. He wanted it to be somebody else's mama, father, sister, brother, or whatnot to pay that cost.
Crying.
So they
Hold
can
on,
have that
you
2nd
said he
Amendment.
said
When
what?
does it? I'm
He
curious,
said,
y'all. When,
he said, I don't know verbatim. He said, for us to keep our 2nd Amendment and to defend our other rights to have guns, we're going to have some gun deaths. And he said he's willing to pay that cost for us to keep our guns. For
Oh, he
for
paid.
a few gun deaths a
Oh
year
yeah,
is what he
case
said, or
closed.
something like
Case
that.
closed.
Yeah, that's what he said. So it's like, I don't think he meant himself, but it just
we
so
got
happens that's
people,
what it is.
we got people killing each other in Chicago and all over the place for just people saying things. Like, when is that shit gonna stop? Like, that's crazy. Like, people are literally killing each other in Chicago for shit that they say, not to
Bro, I
do.
should cuss your
They should.
motherfucking ass out
So,
for getting on there.
Chill out, Corey. Chill,
I
chill,
should
Corey.
cuss your
you
motherfucking
Chill,
ass
Corey.
out.
you wouldn't talk to me
I
like that if
should
I was
cuss
in your
your
face.
motherfucking ass
You
out.
wouldn't talk to me.
Corey.
You ain't grown. You ain't
That's
grown.
not even the
You
topic,
ain't
though. Like,
grown.
why
You
would you
wouldn't
even
talk
say
to me
some
like
shit
that if
like
What
I
that?
was
y'all
in your
ladies
face.
trying? I
I
told y'all
guarantee
ladies.
you, my boy, you wouldn't talk to me like that if you was in my face. You just wouldn't.
y'all.
Hold on, what
Y'all
just
gotta
happened?
talk to people like if you were in front of these people and for real. Y'all talk
No,
like
I'm saying what happened between you and Corey. Fuck all that. Corey left. What? You and Corey got some kind of issue or something? Because I don't even think you.
I don't have an issue with him. I'm
Okay.
coming out to say my opinion, and he's getting emotional. What the fuck? Like, what
But
is
what
up
was
with
you
that?
saying? What was you saying?
All I said is that
What about black
we
on
got.
black crime in
Let me.
Chicago?
This proves my point right here. This
Well,
proves my point.
yeah. Let's talk about that. So,
What about black on
what
black crime?
what about when people are shooting each other for just saying things?
That ain't what we.
That's got to stop.
Yeah,
That
that's not the
is
What's your
discussion. And,
what's your
if you're
comparison?
gonna say
that's really got to
these
stop.
these
Look,
concentrated
No,
people,
no,
we're
I
in
don't even
America.
understand this
We're in
point.
you're gonna
America.
say the concentrated violence
Y'all
is
need
just
to
over people
realize
saying
that we're in
things, and
America.
you're not
We have
you're
Hold on,
not
free
one mic,
speech.
recognizing
one
the
You
mic,
can talk,
one
escalation.
mic,
You're
say
bro.
tripping,
anything
One
you
bro.
mic,
damn want.
one
That nigga
mic,
sound
one
Don't
fucking
mic,
touch
crazy,
me.
bro. That nigga ain't spoken
one
months. He's
mic.
Y'all
out of
Cause
not
you
nowhere
saying
with
getting
what
that
it.
you what
Y'all
you're
not
bullshit.
really
saying.
getting it.
Hold
You
on.
can't.
Well, I don't even understand what you're saying. Just get your. What is
It's
your
real
point?
simple. I'm
Yeah,
trying
He's
go
to
ahead.
saying
say
what I
it's
said.
very. See, he's trying to frame the argument. What I'm simply saying is, it don't matter what the fuck come out of your mouth. You can't shoot people for what they say. You can't do it. It's crazy because what if I don't like what you're saying? Go ahead, shoot you.
Yeah, bust a cap.
Oh,
That's what
come
I'm
on, man.
saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. You can switch it on, like you can
Hold
switch the
on, hold
scenario
on.
around. Like
Y'all ain't
So you're
switch
saying,
shit.
but
That's
you, but we
historical
don't. Okay,
argument is fucking dumb.
first off, we don't know why Charlie Kirk got shot. We could think until it comes out. We don't know why he got shot. That's the first thing, Tony. The second part is you most certainly can get shot for what you say, whether it's right or wrong is your
You will
opinion.
get shot.
No,
That's
you
the problem.
can.
You
No,
will get shot.
everybody don't. What do you
And that's the
mean?
problem.
What are you saying?
Yeah, look, if
Candace Owens is
people
still
getting
alive.
shot for,
Rush Limbaugh is still
I'm just
alive. All these
I'm
niggas.
just saying,
Yeah, what
Nah,
you
Rush
mean?
Limbaugh
I'm
dead.
just I'm just simply saying
Shot, yo.
you can't get like
Ignorant,
shot
bro.
for what you say because dialogue has to occur, man. People have to talk
Man,
to each other.
nobody ever said no shit like that. Like, you supposed
Yeah,
to
but
get
what
shot
that
for
got
what
to
you
do with what
say.
we talking about,
Yeah, that
Tony?
sounds
That's all. Maybe
crazy.
that's why I'm missing the connection. What's the connection to the
We
conversation we have?
well Kirk, he was known for something, right? He was known for opening dialogue between people that literally don't understand each other. He was that
No, that's
that
not what he was
guy.
known for, though. That's why I
Wait
You're
a minute.
understand.
No,
misrepresenting it
no. Wait a
now.
minute.
You're
Wait a minute. Wait a
misrepresenting
minute.
it.
Go
That's
ahead,
what
You
he
just
was
do it.
buttered
known
that shit
for,
up.
and how ugly it looked. How ugly it looked. It don't matter how ugly it looked. That's how it's going to look. But it was dialogue. It was these people. He has
Hate
his own
speech is
opinion.
dialogue now.
He has his own opinion. Like he could put out
Hate
his
speech ain't
opinion,
no
and then
fucking opinion. What the
what do
fuck,
you mean? What?
bro? Are you serious?
Can you give me an example of what you mean by he was known for opening dialogue? What you mean by that?
Normally,
Uh-huh.
Democrats aren't having dialogue with Republicans. Normally.
They have dialogue every day.
Yeah, that's not true. But go ahead.
No. What you consider dialogue is debate. Is more like arguing, or like he put a platform, a large platform, to express his opinions, and obviously a lot of Democrat young kids were interested, and he was changing them. So apparently somebody didn't like his results, and so they went to shut him up.
I don't think you're very
But he
familiar
had
with,
a,
with a lot of the things
no,
that he said.
okay, so
Yeah,
Tony, if he opened, but if you're saying that he opened the dialogue, you do know he had an there was an agenda behind all of these conversations, correct? You know, there's a reason why he was on these campuses. He was recruiting.
Yeah, of course.
Part of this was right. Hold on. So if it's open, healthy dialogue, there is no agenda behind it. There is no you're trying to build up your base and all this, that, and the other. And then on top of that, if while I'm talking to you, you're dehumanizing me as I'm talking to you. Like, I've heard the shit that he says to transgenders. I've heard the shit he say to people that were victims of gun violence. Or who've had people that died from gun. Like, I've heard the things that he actually said. This wasn't healthy dialogue. The shit he was saying about Gaza, the shit there wasn't. Hold on. No, listen what I'm saying. Hold on, let me finish. I'm gonna let you finish. But let me say, the difference between Charlie Kirk and all of these talking heads is he actually put his shit in. He was affecting policy. When you found, if you just up there talking, then you really are, you just Chief X and all these other niggas and just saying crazy shit. But if you trolling, but if you actually take the next step and create a group called Turning Point USA, where you are active, where you're effectively creating a base of hate. You're creating and now what? Did you hear this? Did you hear the shit he was saying about actual gun deaths and transgenders?
I have heard some of the real rough stuff he says. But a lot of it is true. I mean, we have to. What are we gonna like?
It's true. What the fuck?
What are we gonna look at?
They about to kill you, bro.
No.
I'm
not about to kill him. I want to talk to him.
It ain't no
I'm not about to kill him.
When are we gonna look at that?
Y'all just
We have like a problem, man. We really got a problem looking at our own selves.
Nigga talking about
the overall.
talking about gay people
Trying to have a
alone to death and shit. Like, y'all tripping. Like, what the fuck? That ain't a difference of opinion. Saying somebody should get stoned to death. What?
Please, one mic.
How you gonna sit there and say that's not a
Oh,
opinion?
God damn, y'all ain't no better than him when you start yelling the nigga down. Just when you say, I'm trying to get to the heart of what he's saying. So you said he said some harmful fucking things, right? That were difficult, this, that, and the other.
I didn't say harmful.
Hold on. I want to know which ones you agreed with, though. Because you just said he was
harmful. I didn't say.
No, then tell me which ones you agreed with.
I agree.
Wrong. Tell me what you agree with.
I agree with focusing on communities that have high level of crime.
That ain't
people dying.
No, you said topics that was not.
Oh, don't say no. I'm telling you what I'm telling you.
Where did he say this at? And how did he say it? You just making a blanket ass statement. I'm telling you what I mean. Where did he say it? Give me his words.
You want me to do some research? I can go do some research and come back to you a little bit later.
Blanket ass shit. Everybody feel like that. What the fuck?
Yeah, because when you say because when you say
he's saying he's an example. He's
y'all so hostile though, bro.
What I'm saying. What I'm saying to you,
y'all get real emotional, real hostile. Y'all want to get like raise your voice and like like kill niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy.
Nigga, I'm just talking to you, Tony. I'm not hostile.
I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you.
Okay, listen to what I'm about to say to you. This is a man that said George Zimmerman. When you said that he said some things that was a little whatever and you agreed, I'm saying this is a guy who said George Zimmerman, that Trayvon Martin hunted George Zimmerman and deserved
I know what he said. I know what they
don't, but you don't agree with that, correct?
I'm not gonna shoot the motherfucker for it.
No, I said you don't agree though.
But there's things I agree and some things I don't agree with him, but I'm not gonna go and fucking shoot him.
No, I'm not talking about shooting him. I'm saying, do you agree with that statement? You just said you agree with some of the things, some of the provocative, polarizing things that he said. Do you agree with that statement?
Which one exactly?
That Trayvon Martin hunted George Zimmerman and deserved to die.
I have to actually really look into that. I really don't speak on shit I don't know. I haven't really looked into it. But I know he says some shit, crazy shit, you know, and he
But
says some
Tony,
factual shit. He mixes it
Tony,
all
it
up.
sounds like Tony. It sounds like to me you don't even know the stances that this guy takes
You
or
don't,
what
bro.
I
You
don't
the
know
just
things.
all of
talking.
them.
You
I
have
don't know all of them. I don't.
You don't know
You're
one
in
of
here
them.
apologizing for somebody you
No,
don't even know what he said.
You can't
This
even
is
name one
bad.
of them.
no.
You can't name
That's
one.
not true either.
He's
That's not
saying the
true either.
This is
principle the
bad.
man shouldn't be shot because of his opinion.
I don't
Bro,
really care
we
what he
passed
said,
that
man.
part.
To be
Nobody
honest,
on
like
earth
you don't shoot
believes that,
people.
bro.
No,
And if
he's
you ain't
actually
know
taking it a
that,
step further and saying
you
that
making
some
a
of the
flawed
stuff he said
argument if you
wasn't so
hanging on to
bad.
that.
That's kind of what he really said.
That's a flaw. What's happening today is people who are never even aware of this man are getting hip to what he's saying. Nobody believes that the motherfucker should have got killed for the shit. But it's now becoming, he was a polarizer figure that's now crossed over into
What
mainstream news
politician is not
and media.
polarizing?
What?
Before
Person is
him, we
not
hadn't heard
polarizing?
anybody
That's the
say
job.
Charlie Kirk
The
wasn't so
job.
bad. Nobody said that.
That's the job, to be polarizing. That's the job. That's the job in
The
politics.
job is not to
Polarizing.
spew hateful rhetoric about communities you ain't even got shit to know. You don't even know nothing about. You ain't got no connection
But
to.
everybody is spewing hate today.
So that's okay.
See what I'm saying?
No,
This is crazy.
that seems to be the currency of dialogue.
Man, you sound like
hate
a fucking
back.
wild ass dude for saying some wild
No,
ass
I'm
shit.
not.
Like,
No, it's true. It's y'all spewing hate. He's spewing hate.
hate speech is
Everybody's
the
spewing
currency
hate.
of the day. You hear that when you say that again, bro, and
I'm
really
not. I'm not
that.
saying it. I'm not saying it. I'm saying it as a reflection of what I see in digital places and in real life. People are just spewing
And I
hate
don't
back
know if
and
you
forth.
caught the whole conversation, but we're saying we shouldn't be numb to that.
That hate manifests itself through violence. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's actually not uncommon for somebody to want to do something like that to you when you campaign, create companies, go around the goddamn globe fueling this shit, bro. What do you mean? You make yourself a target like that. You can make yourself a target,
you
though.
can't
Do you
do
agree
that.
with that?
You
But do
just
you agree
can't
that
do
you
that,
can
though.
make yourself a target, though? Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree.
Therefore, all right, we done.
But you don't go out and pass that border and make us and go kill somebody because of it.
No one said that's okay. No one's saying that.
We also
okay.
don't
People
know
gonna
that
get
that's why
upset.
he.
Yeah, people
Hey,
gonna get
Tony,
upset.
Tony,
They're gonna be
but we
pissed
also
off.
don't know. Hey,
They're
Tony,
gonna get
but that's why
emotional.
There's a way to go around the globe campaigning and sharing your opinions without degrading and disrespecting communities, bro. There's a way to do that, and that's not what he did. Like, knock it the fuck off.
Well, whatever he did worked.
What?
Wait, right? Shit. What the fuck?
What?
He turned over a lot of young Democrats, like those same kids. Like those same kids that are coming up to him to ask all these crazy hard questions that he asked.
Making this motherfucker sound too close to Malcolm X for me, though. I ain't lying.
No, that's what they
just
doing.
We might have to just
right now.
We just might have to change course, yo.
Up there with MLK, bro.
You apologizing for him, and you admitted you don't know what he said.
Hold on, Elijah, go for it.
I don't
like. You over here pushing
I'm like, wait a second. This
man
motherfucker don't win. He didn't. He's starting to shine this man up for us. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not shining nobody. I would have said the same thing about another. If like the mayor from Chicago got shot, I would have said the same thing. Like this nigga, like this motherfucker could say whatever he wants. Like, but they don't shoot the guy.
I heard it.
Or that
that
ER,
don't shoot the guy.
was a little tough. That ER, I don't know if you just
come on, y'all. Y'all playing y'all. You know what I'm saying, though. Like if they shot him,
I don't know if you mispronounced nigga, but that ER was prevalent in that last. Hold on. Listen what I'm gonna say to you though. That's just a joke. We just joke.
I know y'all joking. But I'm saying though,
hey, listen. No.
I hear the undertone, bro. I hear it.
I want to go back to the first thing.
Y'all not listening. Like if they
no,
shot
Tony,
him,
I am listening, but you're just unclear. I want to go back to the first thing you said. I'm just unclear because I got confused because it seemed like sometimes in these arguments, motherfuckers start arguing and it be some other shit. But when you first started talking, Was you comparing this to black? Do you think black on black crime is real? Like it's a real thing?
Oh, absolutely, it is. It has to be.
Oh,
There's
okay.
black and white on white.
Said it
You know,
has
there's
to
both.
be.
There's both. There's
I
both.
No,
believe
I've
it.
never heard.
I
I've
believe
never
it.
heard them use the term white on white crime.
I
There is
believe
no
on
both.
black
Crime is
on black
crime,
crime.
bro. You do crime on who you're in proximity
Wait,
to
you
most
believe on?
times.
But
What
you
the
believe?
fuck?
But there's just a lot of crime in Chicago, man. I don't know, like
Why y'all keep talking about
In a
Chicago?
concentrated area in Chicago. It's not the whole guy. Man, what?
Yeah, wait, no, Chef, you believe in black on black crime for real?
Hell yeah, I believe in black on black crime, nigga. I said
That is
I ain't
real. That's a real. Do you believe that's a real
Yeah,
thing?
it's real, nigga. It's real. What the hell?
Oh man. Okay. I can't even
you
begin
don't
to
know about
Y'all
these
do know
YNs
that
killing
that
each other. You ain't
terminology
heard about
wasn't
these
even
YNs killing each other?
around.
I can't even.
That terminology wasn't even around. Man, what are y'all?
Yo, what the fuck, Chef?
Y'all hear about these YNs killing each other?
What? Yo,
Y'all
black
crazy.
on black. Oh man. Okay. Yeah, I'm not. Well, we'll be arguing all day behind that. I ain't got nothing. I'm gonna assume Chef just said that and left on purpose because it ain't no black on black crime is not even. That's not even a real thing. Black on black crime isn't real. There's no such thing. You commit crimes against people in your close proximity, and we huddle together. And if we're being real, white people kill white people way more than black people kill black. And I ain't never heard the term white on white crime. It's a political tool. It's a news subject. It's something that's used to paint us as savages and shiftless, and we can't control ourselves. When in actuality, if you study crime, you commit crime against the people in your close proximity.
Worked on
It's
that
very
nigga.
easy.
Because
It's very
literally that's all they
easy to
saying right
explain.
now. If had this been a black man that they found out that shot this man,
Begin a race war.
it would be all black people and thugs and whatnot. But they found us a white dude. It's like it's someone from the left. Man, knock it the fuck off, bro.
No,
Y'all
or he
peddling that shit.
had mental issues, or he had a manifesto.
Like y'all help peddling that shit, coming in with that nonsense, talking about some a nigga got assassinated on the college campus. Well, what about Chicago, man? You don't go to the fucking man. What the fuck?
Yeah, no. Black on the fact. I think a lot of times
Ignorant, bro.
I could tell the news has had an effect on people on their talking points. There's no way we talking about Charlie Kirk at 10:30, and then at 10:31 we talking about black on black crime in Chicago. Two things don't even. Not even the Mandela
Yeah, I was
effect
confused
making
why
two
y'all
things
kept
connect.
mixing in the Chicago shit with this. I was confused about that.
No, the chef started talking about military shit in Chicago. That's all that was. But no,
Look, all I'm
am.
saying is, Brass. All I'm saying is, Brass. I could agree with most of what y'all are saying, but at the end of the day, like yesterday, you even said R.I.P. Christian Kirk and take into account that he has a family and they. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If you didn't take anything else from what I'm saying at least you understood that part. That's all I'm saying.
Man, I can admit. I mean, anybody would.
And this man put out content after content. If a nigga, if somebody came to your block, somebody came to your block for 5 years straight and just yelled at the top of your block and said "fuck you niggas" and all type of racial slurs, you just gonna sit there and look like eventually you're like, man,
They said, Breeze, I'm gonna say something to you. They said, Breeze, I'm gonna say something to you. I think we're talking past each other. I have no issue with this motherfucker being not here anymore, bro.
I'm not. That wasn't.
I think two things can be true. Why can't you compartmentalize that? Two things can be true.
I don't. But let me get my point out, Sid. But my point to you is, to some people online, you know what I keep hearing about Charlie Kirk, and the more people talk about Charlie Kirk, most people don't even know who the fuck he is. He
That's why I
wasn't even
said that they're
doing
learning who he is
doing a
today.
good job. So my overarching point is
I
the
wouldn't say that.
sentiment after a motherfucker getting murdered. Like a kid don't know who Charlie Kirk is. Most of these kids don't know who the fuck. If I go ask my son right now,
they don't.
Did you see that guy
a
who got
certain
shot?
demographic of kids do, but
Breeze,
not
come on,
that.
my nigga.
They don't.
But wait, earlier y'all was saying that he the reason why Trump got the grip on the youth.
No,
That's
A lot
why I
of
no,
said
people
a
don't know
certain
who he is.
demographic of kids
yeah,
definitely
but
know
that's
that
a
man.
demographic of kids. That's the Christian nationals. That's the MAGA
Yeah,
children. That's the
yeah.
young right shit like that.
Just
Ask the
MAGA. Period.
average
Anybody
kid.
caught up in that?
Yeah, just
Didn't the
ask
dude
the
from
average
didn't the dude
child.
from MSNBC get fired because he
Yeah,
attributed
he got
the dude
fired. Yeah,
death?
yeah, he got fired. Yeah, because remember MSNBC ain't stupid. The more than half of the viewers that watch their show are motherfuckers that directly support Charlie Kirk. Like they're not some of their ads, people run ads on there pro Charlie Kirk, like the shit that he believes
Well,
in.
question, Brad. My bad to cut you.
Yeah.
This confuses me because you have people on Twitter and other people saying that his death was a direct cause of what he said, but you even said not too long ago we still don't know why he got killed in the first
Nobody
place.
even knows why he
Nobody
died.
knows
So I'm
that. You can't
confused.
You know what would be
definitively say that.
the funny joke? You know what would be the funniest joke right now that I could make is it's ignorant, but I'm gonna say it. It could be what if it's a motherfucker that was completely against transgenderism, abortion, all kind of other shit. What if this was on some like lover shit or some weird shit? So the whole
Yeah.
world is
Nigga
like he
probably took his
died
bitch or
because he
something.
was racial, and then you find out this nigga got killed by I don't know, some silly
Probably owe
something else.
somebody money or something.
Yeah, like this nigga. Oh, we found out he had gambling debts, or he owed the mafia. Like it could be something like that.
But that'll put a mirror to the people who automatically jumped out the window and justify his killing based off a person having a different. So that would kind of.
But he
People
also
are speculating the
campaigned.
likelihood right now.
Yeah, but he campaigned
Yeah.
on hate. Well, he campaigned on hate, and he got elected, my nigga. So I get that part, but what I'm saying, what I'm saying is, yes, I'm sorry, Chef. But what I'm saying is the motherfucking my overarching point is to the average everyday person. Even if you into politics, you know who Charlie Kirk is. But to the average everyday person, that's just a white man getting hit in the neck on Instagram. That's what I have an issue with. Not any human being. Like when what's his name died? What's the other guy that got killed? And it was basically live. Back in the day with Kennedy. Fuck, man. Kennedy got shot. Then they arrested the guy, and then somebody killed this nigga on TV.
Wallace, who was it?
Who's the guy that murdered? Who's the guy that
Wallace?
they said killed Kennedy?
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah, Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah,
he
killed
got
him.
shot.
They killed
Remember
Lee Harvey.
on
Yeah.
TV, they was the police was
He
walking
was at
him
the
out,
phone booth.
and somebody walked up and shot him and shit. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that was appalling. Remember Columbine, my nigga? That shit was appalling. That shit was like
appalling. That nigga just killed the president.
Yeah, but
and
you
shot
don't
the
know.
governor.
You don't know that he should. First off, that's the nigga that got arrested for killing the president. You don't know what the fuck he did, Chef.
Oh man, he did that. He did that.
I forgot who I was talking to. But look, remember Columbine, Chef? Since we're on the subject,
Hell
remember
yeah.
how the world was going crazy? They was having crisis. I remember that shit. It was mental health in the fucking
They
school.
shut our school down. We had metal
They was
detectors. We had all type of shit.
like, what the fuck is going on? The whole world was talking about this shit. Do y'all know that yesterday, right before Charlie Kirk got killed, it was a school shooting?
Colorado.
And nobody gave a fuck, bro. Last week in Minnesota, it was a fucking school shooting. Niggas ain't even
This
bat
was
an
the
eye.
46th school shooting this year.
Yeah, I don't want to get to a point where niggas is dying on
the school
Instagram.
year just started.
Just started.
Literally. Well, for some, but yeah, literally.
That's what I'm saying about people who are for gun rights. It makes no sense.
No sense.
Everything y'all been saying don't make sense to me. I ain't gonna lie. It is all political. Like I haven't even when Brad asked me, do I believe in black on black crime? Like, of course I do. I see it. Like, what else would you? If black people commit crimes against each other at a disproportionate rate, what would you call that?
It's not black on black crime.
Okay, well, it's Mexican on black. If a black man
that's like, are you saying that like
is that Mexican on black crime or is that black on black crime?
Are you saying if two black people live in the same city but on opposite sides of the town, right? And it's just them two, you think one is just gonna be inclined to drive over to the other side of the city and commit a crime on this man if he wanted to commit a crime, or is he gonna do it to the motherfucker close to him? Like that's crazy to say that, bro. To think that because it's just proximity that categorizes it now. It don't. That's just what happens when you in the same place as someone else. It's gonna be a crime. It's probably gonna be committed on the people next to you.
So let's walk through this.
It's brothers I know who would fight their own.
They don't wake
time
up like, man, I can't wait to go kill a black nigga today. Like, what the fuck?
No, it don't have to be as visceral as you saying, right? But
you label it like that. It sounds like that.
No. If we're saying if you have statistics, right, where black people are disproportionately harmed by white people, right? Then you will label that. And it has been labeled. So when they start doing the statistics and say, okay, well, it's crimes happening to black people that white people are not committing. So when black people are committing crimes on each other, then that's black on black crime. If white people start committing crimes on black people, I guarantee you it'd be a name for that shit.
Wait, y'all saying black on black crime it doesn't exist? That's what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what they saying now.
No, because and it ain't disproportionate. You saying disproportionate. Hold on. White homicide victims
that's crazy
are killed at a rate of 85%. 85% of white people that die.
That's white on white crime.
No, it's not white on white
crime. Black on black crime.
Bro, let me finish my sentence for you. Just cut me off. If 85%, hold on, said Breeze. If 85% of white people kill 85% of white people, I ain't never heard the term. And 90% of black people kill 90% of black people. That's the difference. You saying they at 85%, we're at 90%. That makes it disproportionate. But black on black crime is splashed everywhere as a political tool. I've never heard the term white on white crime.
Hold on. What? My grandmother used to talk about black on black crime.
Cause she watched the news.
No, rappers back in my day used to talk about black on black crime. This shit is real.
No, they were wrong. They were wrong.
Man,
they were wrong. You can't. All y'all doing is just.
See, we can't even find common ground on.
Why do you keep coming in this motherfucker like Rodney King?
Because where's the other labels? I don't see no other racial groups.
Damn, you
like, why can't y'all name the other?
Sad, bro.
Where's the Asian on Asian crime? The Puerto Rican on Puerto Rican.
There it go. Asian on love. There it go. The Joker.
Where is it though? You saying they don't?
We promote black on black violence.
Are you saying it don't exist?
No Asian on Asian.
Now we going to the music. Like y'all can't stay in one spot. Y'all squirm every
goddamn. Crime is local. White people kill white people more than they kill anybody else. Black people kill black people more than they kill anybody else. My concern, Chef, is the term black on black crime is a political tool to make us savages, my nigga. When we don't do it any more than anybody else, bro. And then on top of that,
remember the song Self-Destruction? Self-Destruction. Remember the song Self-Destruction? When all of the rappers got together to fight it, to preach against black on black crime.
What the hell are you talking
they were saying that shit in their lyrics. Self-destruction. You headed for self-destruction.
Y'all remember that song? I remember that song.
Right,
I remember that song.
Black on black crime, yo. Are y'all crazy?
They bugging.
No, it's how you saying it.
Cocaine everywhere.
It's how you saying it. You're saying it like it's deliberate, like it's specific to us. It's not. It's crime is every goddamn where.
Wrong with saying
crime is every motherfucking where. Like, come on.
We can't agree to simple shit like this. The solutions ain't never gonna be.
Because it don't need a label. It's just fucking crime.
It ain't no we, nigga.
We really done. We can't admit this shit like this. We done.
Well, I want to hear when y'all talk about it ain't no talk to everybody in the same way.
It ain't no we. Black on black crime is a tool used against you, and y'all just choosing to use it because you ain't got no goddamn good common sense.
Yo, that's great. This would be a good show.
No, it wouldn't. It'd be a short show. I'm gonna cuss y'all out. I might cuss. I feel like cussing y'all out right now. It's too early in the day. We can have
figure out why y'all denying it.
I'm not
trying to figure out why you say it's disproportionate. That sounds like
getting
rhetoric
away from
to
the
me.
term. black on black crime as a term is detrimental to
You
us.
only using it because
He
you
wouldn't
feel
It
call
just
it
make it seem like we are
African American
disproportionate.
against African American crime.
Black on black crime.
Tony,
African American crime against African
It's just
American.
crime. It don't need no extra adjective. Crime
No,
is goddamn crime.
black on black crime is detrimental to black people, not the label.
There's no such thing.
Fuck
I'm not
the
accepting
label.
it.
Crime is detrimental to
I'm
anybody
not
who's committed
accepting the
on.
term black on
Nobody
black.
benefits from a crime.
Bro.
What the fuck?
You ain't crazy, Chef.
Nobody benefits from a
and
crime.
once
Like you ain't even
again,
gotta make a
when
statement
Fetty
like
is
that.
agreeing with
No
you,
one
you're on the
benefits from a
wrong
crime.
path, my nigga.
That's not even
Trust
a
me,
profound statement.
Trust and
No one
believe.
benefits from a crime.
When Fetty tell you you're doing a good job, nigga, you might
Yeah,
want to
you
just
speaking
mute
that,
your
you
mic. You might
speaking
want
that
to leave
Murray,
Discord.
that Murray lingo.
You might want to, because you know one thing you forgetting, Chef? You actually going against your argument with Fetty when you talk about socioeconomic factors. Because you ain't even thinking about that. You now, all the shit
because
you
that's
say
not the
about
issue.
IQ, you ain't even bringing it up. It most certainly is. Environment and socioeconomic factors most certainly got
Chef only
something
gave
to
it a
do with what's
label
happening in the
because he
city.
thought it's disproportionate. That's why he gave it that label and is okay with it, because he feel like it represents the disproportionate amount of crime that's going on in the community. He's trying to be slick. They all are.
Yeah, that shit. Anytime they say black on black crime, they want the world to think
you're trying to make it seem like it's something more alarming than anybody else's crime.
Way more than everybody else. That ain't true. It's not true. Yo, you can scream all you want.
We just got a problem then. We just all fucked up.
Yeah, we are.
Yo, we are. I'm glad y'all
Bro, that's just a
acknowledge
small
it's
portion of the
the
fact that y'all say the lowest part of the culture represents
just
the
throwing
culture
gasoline
is
on the
wild. Like
Man,
y'all highlight the lowest
we
part of
can't
the
even have
culture.
a real convo about our own selves. That's why I say the solutions ain't gonna
What's
never
the
be
convo then? Let's
If y'all saying black on black
always
crime,
go.
start
What's the
Niggas
convo
always
then?
go
black
to
on black
other
No,
crime,
but then what's the
Black
convo
on black
though?
crime ain't a
We just
real
making
thing. It's like,
statements.
bro, it's no accountability,
Y'all
bro.
just making statements.
Anytime a
What's the
nigga bring up
conversation?
culture or things
What's
that
the
we can change,
conversation?
niggas get mad. That's a fact.
But I'm saying,
Yo,
what
hold
is the
on,
conversation?
listen.
I want to
You
hear.
know,
I could be wrong.
Jeff get on his
I could be
accountability
wrong.
I
bag.
want to
He
hear the
has
conversation though.
but Chef, when
Niggas
you
been
walk
killing.
this back, Fetty and Tony still gonna be talking the same bullshit. Listen to what I'm saying to you, Chef. The FBI, the Department of Justice, the NYPD, no police organization designates crime by race. It's by type, homicide, robbery, this, that, and the other. The media created black on black crime so that I was about
It
to
feel
call
like you a
y'all
bunch of
something
crazy
niggas call me.
niggas.
So that y'all niggas would be pushing the fact that we were savages. I looked up that stupid ass song y'all just thought up for self-destruction. With half of them niggas I ain't never even heard of. That's just my limited hip hop shit. But that song ain't have shit to do with black on black crime, bro. They was talking about an overarching, they was talking about the rise and
Did you just chat GPT self-destruction? I'm done.
Shit up.
I'm done.
I never heard the song.
I'm done.
I never heard the song, bro. I ain't never heard that song before a day in my life. Never. You know what's funny? ADQ. You know who pushed black on black crime? You know when that shit started? Reagan. That's Reagan. That term started floating around from Ronald Reagan, and now
Late 70s, early 80s.
Chef Fetty and Tony somehow think that this is some shit that we need to be saying today.
It was called self-destruction.
Yeah,
Meaning we were doing that shit to ourselves. Self-destruction. Just listen to the title of the song and then listen to the lyrics and tell me we not talking about we need to get our shit together because we're harming each other.
Everybody got to get their shit together. We just make songs about the shit.
He tried to say self-destruction wasn't about us and black on black
KRS-One was on
crime.
that song. KRS-One was on that song, and I bet you Bambaataa was at the video shoot. Fuck them niggas. You know what fuck what they talking about? Fuck them niggas, bro.
No, I'm just saying in the black community, in the 80s and early 90s, that shit was real and black people actually discussed black on black crime.
Here's the funny
I don't know
thing.
why it's taboo now. I don't know
They
why
discussed
it's taboo.
probably the uptick in crime.
No,
you
listen.
labeling it black
Hey,
on
Chef,
black like
I
it's
looked at
got
a
some sort of
timeline.
like underlining thing, like we just some crazy
My
Negroes
grandmother
in.
and them would talk about how crazy it was for black people to be doing this shit to each other. You know what I mean? Like, we done lost our black on black crime.
White people kill white people at a White people kill white people at a 5% less rate than we do. And I guarantee you, white grandmothers
millions of them.
White sons. White grandmothers don't say to their white sons, look at all this white on white. No, they just say, look at all this crime out here. They don't say, look at all this Caucasian on Caucasian crime. We need to fix the community. They don't say that dumbass shit.
This shit is done by people who are pledging gangs and shit like that. You acting like it's just a regular motherfucker waking up out his bed like, I'm about to go rob a nigga today. Like, man, come on, y'all crazy, bro. Y'all acting like this shit is just some fucking innate issue within just us. Like, or what the fuck? Everybody commits fucking crimes, bro. Everybody on planet Earth.
Hey, listen, said Breeze. So I looked up a timeline of the word, just the term. It says in the 60s and 70s, civil rights victories sparked a backlash. Politicians started emphasizing law and order rhetoric. Crime in black neighborhoods becomes a focus. In the 80s crack era, black on black crime in quotations becomes a nightly news trope. This was the lead-in for the war on drugs, mandatory minimums, and super predator myths. The 90s crime bill, the narrative that black communities were out of control, made it politically popular to push harsh sentencing laws. Anytime black activists protest police brutality, in the 2000s and now, it says Chef, Fetty, and Tony, and any other black activists, they say critics deflect by saying, what about black on black crime is used to delegitimize outrage as systemic injustice, and we should mute Chef, Fetty, and Tony for the rest of the day. That's exactly what ChatGPT is doing. So I'm gonna mute you, nigga.
I was gonna say earlier, same thing with Trump trying to send troops to Chicago. He's gonna pull back on that because the agenda originally was to show how Democrats can't manage their own city. So it's a political agenda, but people think he actually cares about crime. He's using crime as buzzwords.
If he cared about crime, Mel, he'd go to Memphis. If he cared about crime, he'd go to St. Louis.
Yep.
He go to Louisiana. They going to Chicago because Chicago is always a political tool to show the failure of Democrats.
Correct. And if you look at recent
little niggas claiming gangs and shit, like
real quick, if you looked at recent Chicago crime news, crime has actually been down.
Yes.
Chicago.
Yeah, I don't hear none of that.
But we
got
to send in the fucking
come on, bro.
I want the troops.
Down from where? From like 500% crime or something, or down from what?
If it goes down 500%,
Tony, you're a gaslighter. I know what you're doing.
If it goes down 500%, it's zero. What the fuck?
This nigga Tony want all the smoke.
Wild as that wild ass nigga, bro.
Right. The fuck? That nigga want all.
It go down 500%.
Tony want all the smoke and everything that comes with it. Tony said 500% low.
Weird ass nigga,
nigga.
I can't even say that. He's
bro, 5.
It's some dumbass shit like that.
100% would mean
we have 500%. We gotta go. We gotta go down 499%.
5 crimes, yo. 5.
5%.
500%.
500%
looks like that's
every individual is at least responsible for 5 crimes.
That's a French Revolution. Like
500.
Haiti Revolution.
Niggas so much, boy.
You know what's funny? This nigga's walking in Chicago right now that's like looking around. Like, where's the 500%? They looking around like
that's each person committing at least 5 crimes. That would be 500%.
16, 17-year-old niggas with these guns representing.
That's niggas running around with teeth.
Disrespectful, bro. Y'all let the lowest part of our culture represent the whole thing. Like y'all disrespectful.
He's in Jordans, right?
Stop acting like it don't though.
You don't represent it, motherfucker. That's what media does.
Bro.
This nigga said Breeze sound like 1980s Ice
Crazy. I can't
So what are some things you want to correct about our culture?
Let's have a combo.
Critique or accountability at all? I'm gonna let
Yeah,
you.
like motherfuckers on
What did
everybody
you
got
say,
the same.
DQ?
Be accountable.
What
Be
you say, DQ?
accountable for once. What's something about black culture you don't like, Ted?
How much you tell me this? What percentage you think of black communities committing all these crimes? Tell me that first, so we have a starting point. What percentage of us
500%.
is so alarming that we have to address it? What's the percentage?
I mean, you didn't answer my question, but go ahead.
I'll answer that. You answer mine. I don't even know where you stand. You just sound like a nutty ass nigga right now.
Hey, that's crazy.
Now let it build. Let it build. Oh shit, 50
Yeah.
left. What the
What
fuck?
percentage of our community do
No,
you
he
think
probably got a
committing
phone
all
call.
these
He
crimes?
done left a few times and came back.
Somebody answer that.
I can't hear you, bro.
500%. I'm still stuck
What
on
percentage of the black community
500%.
is committing all these crimes?
You talking about in
Is it
Chicago?
10%? Is it 5? Is it 15? What is it?
Let's pull up some numbers. Throw in the chat.
Oh, they supposed to know. It's
You
so alarming.
talking about the total percent of the black population in Chicago?
It's so alarming. This should be readily available for them because it's so alarming. They want to have the conversation so bad, but we got to look shit up now. But it's
The
so
niggas
alarming.
you talking to ain't even here, I don't think.
I'm not talking about y'all. I'm just saying in general. I know it's probably about the listening. They believe in that nutty shit too.
Sleeping
That
nigga today.
nigga was sleep Tony. No, he want to sleep Tony specifically.
I'm talking about Charlie Kirk. What about Chicago? What the
That nigga
fuck?
want to sleep. That nigga want to sleep Tony.
See the title of the show? They can't wait to drag black folks in the shit. The same shit that nigga would do.
My nigga said be getting turned the fuck up, boy.
That nigga is here.
I'll let that shit slide.
No,
Like
because
it's crazy.
you wasn't in here. You wasn't in here though, DQ. But that nigga, motherfucking, what's his name? Corey.
Yeah.
This nigga, we was talking about Charlie Kirk. Tony said, but what about the black on black crime in Chicago? And nigga Corey said, hey man, fuck you.
Straight up.
That nigga said, I could kill you right now.
Bro, I think we should take a quick moment to acknowledge.
And didn't come back. That nigga was furious. He probably worked the fuck out of somebody on that concrete.
Yeah, that nigga was definitely hot as fuck. Nigga said, let me get out of here, yo. If I turn this motherfucker upside down, let me get out of here.
Corey cleaning up his sniper right now.
That nigga Corey said, man, what? Man, fuck you.
He reached for his sniper.
Corey on that site giving them niggas hell right
Hey, for real, we gotta take a moment to acknowledge.
It's a nigga on that site right now that don't know Tony, but he hates Tony with a motherfucking passion. This nigga Corey got a whip out on them niggas right now.
Corey got these niggas doing suicide like basketball practice.
Yeah, put the tools down. Put the tools down and line up, nigga.
Put this bag of concrete on your goddamn
Put the
back.
tools down, line up, nigga. Right now.
Oh shit. He got them niggas carrying concrete bags on their back. Like, nigga, fuck you, nigga. Yeah, Corey was hot, bro.
Corey took all the dollies. That nigga took all the dollies, put them on the back of his truck, said, y'all got to carry this shit by hand. Y'all got me fucked up.
For just a second, though, yo, we got to acknowledge just how ignorant that statement is, bro. We got to, like, we ain't going to hear nothing that crazy for at least 2 weeks. We got to acknowledge that. Nigga said 500%. 500% crime, bro. We gotta give him some kind of something. I don't know about props, but we gotta acknowledge how ignorant that motherfucking statement. That's like some donkey of the day shit.
No, he said, is it down 500%? Meaning like
you know what you gotta acknowledge though. You gotta acknowledge.
Nigga meaning that shit was Gotham, nigga. Gotham.
We gotta do a slow clap. No, we gotta do a slow clap for media, bro. The media has done an amazing job, bro.
Marvelous. Miraculous job.
They'll make you look right past St. Louis, Louisiana, New Orleans, and Memphis. They'll make you look completely past that and still only be thinking in 2025, Chicago is the worst place for black folk in the United
States. The funny part is,
I'm gonna say that's some of that unfortunate evil genius shit that we was trying not to acknowledge the other day.
Even with it being in Illinois is not even in the top 10 of gun violence when it comes to in states when it comes to gun violence. And when they did a study, they saw that 60 to 70% of the guns that do make it into Illinois, because it's really tough to get a gun legally there, that they come from states with lax gun laws. So it's like y'all miss a whole bunch of steps when you just say a bunch of nutty ass shit. That shit wild. So you didn't really look into the conversation at all, but they just don't want to have a conversation. They didn't even look into the nuances. Like, you just want to blanket every thing.
No, but then you guys
a bunch of little kids running around crazy. Like, that's everybody.
You gotta unleash SEAL Team 6 on the kids in Chicago. That's the only way it's gonna stop.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter
the Marines. Come on, bro.
It wouldn't matter how the guns got into Illinois. It's what the niggas do when they get there. You feel me? Like that? Like,
they do anybody that wants to be in the gang gonna do, but everybody in the black community ain't in no motherfucking gang, so it's not representative of the whole.
Yeah, but so the niggas, everybody in the black community ain't in no gang. Fine. It's the niggas that are in the fucking gangs. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with that?
What percentage of what percentage
ain't gonna do it.
What percentage of black
get
youth
out
do you
there
think
and
is
pull
in
them
gangs,
guns
Chef?
out them niggas' hands?
What percentage of black
youth
youth do you think is in gangs, Chef?
Nigga,
what I'm saying is for the people who don't have who's saying that the shit ain't a big deal, because y'all asses ain't dying in the fucking streets. You feel me? So it's easy. It's real. It's people, children dying in the fucking streets. But it ain't a big deal. It's not big. Like, I don't understand that.
No one ever said nothing like that neither. Y'all are reframing the whole thing.
So
you're doing some weird shit when you say we saying it ain't a big deal.
Why do you feel this is so representative of the entire?
Nobody's saying it ain't a big deal.
Listen. A murderer don't have to be representative of the whole fucking group, but it is a detriment that needs to be dealt with immediately.
Yes, I agree, but not with the military.
Immediately.
I agree with you. I fully agree with you. Not the military, though. And I do think it's a big deal, but I don't think that because the media got you thinking that Chicago is the worst place in the world for black on black crime, like you know what you're saying? The black on black crime. You think that they should be deployed in Chicago because the media told you Chicago was the worst. But if they actually care about the worst, and not just trying
Florida,
to show the fact that Democrats have failed, right? And try to try to flip Chicago on some political shit. If they actually cared about the worst crime, they wouldn't go there. They wouldn't even start there. They go to the Bronx. They go to Memphis. They go to St. Louis, but don't nobody give a fuck about them places. They just trying to prove a political point in saying Chicago. That's about Democrats.
So we gonna stick with the Chicago point and not the overall point that these black cities need motherfucking troops on the ground to stop this shit. It gotta just be about Chicago, right? So I don't get
talking, Brad?
No, nobody. I saw somebody else.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
want to say something.
Oh shit!
I want to say something right quick, bro. When it comes to people like Fetty and Chief X, etc., right? Even Tony, you know, everyone deserves to have their opinion. Everybody deserves to be heard. You know, I try to be as congenial as possible. Sometimes that's not reciprocated, but it's okay. Yeah. People think they're more intelligent than other people and all the rest of it, right? Because they could regurgitate some convoluted garbage about IQ and, you know, whatever. But this is what I want to say. Particularly when it comes to African Americans and those of the diaspora who happen to be wearing the same biological uniform as African Americans who live here in America, right? When Nazi Germany, when the SS whipped up the public in enough fervor to eventually do what they eventually did to the Jews, right? They didn't just get up one day and say, let's go persecute the Jews. Let's go put them in some ovens, right? You are going to need the backing of the public, right? In order to do something on that wide of a scale to a demographic of your country, right? They had various people spreading propaganda whipping up frenzy about the Jews, and some of it was true about like what they do with the banking system and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But a lot of it was bullshit. The point being, if Nick Fuentes, I don't know if you guys are familiar with him on the panel, right? But Nick Fuentes, he spews the same anti-black rhetoric, but on top of it, he spews a lot of anti-Jewish rhetoric, right? The reason why the Jews are so hypersensitive to anything, right? Look at what happened with Kyrie. He just forwarded a tweet or co-signed it or liked the tweet or whatever about a book that says the black folks are the real Hebrews. He wasn't even advocating for anything disparaging or castigating their community at all. But they was right on his ass immediately as one collective. Now, if a person like Nick Fuentes were to get clapped in his neck and one goofball Jew were to go out there and say, well, he shouldn't die because he has, everybody should have their opinion. You know what would happen to him? And the reason why it would happen to him is because they know rhetoric leads to action. The people who are putting money into Charlie Kirk and other people like him, like Richard Spencer, right? They have an end in mind. Okay? He co-signed a preacher who says that black people are innately servile and made and predisposed to be the footmats, right? And the doormats of society, right? It's because we live in America and things are so plentiful. And most people, the vast majority of people, just want to go home at night and see their family, right? And America is very peaceful. When you think about how large the population and the landmass is in relation to the amount of it's extremely peaceful, particularly compared to other places in the world. So, in my opinion, I believe that people like Fetty and Chief X, they don't know what a clock a strike. They're complacent. These aren't just mere words these people are spitting. They are looking to radicalize a section of their community, particularly the young people, to see us in a certain way. And don't think for 1 minute, you can't imagine it right now. It seems completely implausible to where this rhetoric could take root, grow to the point where the little tiny sliver of a community that we have, which is what, 13% or whatever, right? If they could whip up and never mind the weaponry and how we're outgunned and all of that sort of stuff, you think it's completely unimaginable that a certain demographic could get whipped up, a good amount of critical mass of the country could get whipped up into a frenzy by this rhetoric to where servitude of our people or wholesale extermination of our people can't happen. You think the people funding him, you think they don't want to see that? That's the end goal. But I'm going to stop right there. Does anybody think I'm being sensational right now?
No.
Conspiratorial.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I don't.
Go ahead,
because
Brad.
that same
No, I know. It's
base
something very simple. I don't think you're wrong. I'm just saying. I don't like using Hitler in conversations. That's just my preference. So it's nothing that you're saying wrong. No, I'm not saying anything you're saying is wrong. I don't want to give. You know how I am about that, giving motherfuckers a little bit too much credit and power. I'm not putting Hitler is one of the all-time worst motherfuckers in the history of the world. I'm not putting Charlie.
But see, it's not about Hitler.
saying how it starts.
I didn't get the connection. I could be wrong too. Maybe
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
not
get
about.
it.
It starts with that
It's not
rhetoric.
about Hitler.
You gotta have a Hitler so we know where to go at though, Brass. Like you gotta have a Hitler to know, this is what this shit can lead to. You feel me? Like,
okay. So you're saying like it's
we gotta
like,
use him in contrast, so we know not to go off the rails, yo.
Or like creating like Hitler when he was creating the third, like the turning point. Like, okay, so you're saying like,
or the night
I'm
of the
trying to make
long
the
knives,
connection to Kirk, like
the night of the long knives, and all of that stuff.
Right.
Right.
So Kirk
So
starting
that nigga was going in restaurants,
okay.
standing on tables, shouting that shit.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay,
So
I get it.
this
I
is
get
what
it.
I'm saying, right? I understand, Brass, that in a civilized society, right,
Yeah.
we have to let the Richard Spencers live. We have to let the who's the
What's the
other guy that I thought
Constitution?
Fuentes,
Yeah.
Nick Fuentes, right? We
Yeah.
those people, they have, so that's a beautiful thing about America, is that you get to say what you want, right?
Yeah.
And we can't start
But you
curtailing
can't yell
certain
fire
people,
in the movie theater though.
right? We can't start curtailing certain people's speech in order to placate, certain people. But
Right.
what I'm saying is, when it comes specifically to our demographic, there needs to be, when it comes to certain issues, a almost uniform, almost robotic like coalescence. Like we could disagree on a lot of shit, but when it comes to certain shit, like, no, because this is the survival of the
Some shit
very.
is non-negotiable. Fuck that.
Some shit is non-negotiable, and I
But
Like,
then
bro,
the
think
you got
people.
punishment should
people
be,
champion a dude.
when you
People
agree that the
champion a
punishment
dude.
should be
Go ahead, bro.
go ahead. I'll fall back. But
I'm
Allah
just saying,
knows best, y'all.
we seeing
I'ma just
people
say that.
shut your ass
champion
up, bro.
people champion a dude who thinks that shit like civil rights is was a mistake. Like that's their idea. Like,
Yeah,
do
you
you
said the
know do you know
19.
do you know
You
what they
said the
imply by
1964
saying
civil
that?
right. Yeah, sorry,
That's
real
not just
quick,
an
real quick.
opinion. That, you know what's implied by saying that? You're saying that you prefer times when you could just crack a nigga in the head bro, man, go ahead, bro. I'm about to get hot.
Yeah,
Even
yeah,
thinking about
and that's what fit. You see, a guy like Chief X, I look at Fetty as a more intelligent person than Chief X, right? A more perceptive person. A guy like Chief X is nearing 60. He comes from a certain era. He's not a particularly bright individual, right? That doesn't mean he's not industrious or love his family or any of that. But certain of these. No, I'm serious.
Yo. Can I say something
No,
to you, Haskell? Hold on,
yeah.
please don't
Haskell
take
is
that.
nuts.
Haskell, I don't know where you get this shit from, bro. You will say the most craziest shit, right? Yeah, go, and then the next thing you say, you think you cleaning it up
You think he
by
cleaning
saying,
it up?
yeah, like by
Okay,
saying
I ain't
something else.
saying he's not that bright, but I ain't saying he's not industrious and don't love his family.
No, but look.
Yeah, bro. I be trying to listen to what you saying, bro. But you just called the man a dumbass. But it don't mean he don't love his family and he ain't industrious. Like this shit, bro. This shit. Go
Hey,
ahead, bro. I hope
Here's
I
the
get
thing.
your point.
Here's the
Go
thing.
ahead.
Tell the truth.
Here's the
Jesus
thing,
Christ.
though. Here's the thing, though. Even very intelligent people cannot can fail to see, like, certain machinations happening at the time that it is happening, because the reason why the Jews say never again is because when the ember was first starting to flare up, right? A flame starts from a 4 alarm blaze, starts as an ember, right? When the ember was flaring up, they said, okay, that's just some one-off nigga just running his mouth. Okay, that nigga ain't nobody. Then the ember went to another piece of wood, and that flared up, and before they knew it, everybody was so whipped up in a frenzy against them that it was too late, right? And what I'm saying is, there's a certain level of perceptiveness that you have to have, because the people who fund people like Nick Fuentes and Richard Spencer and all of these people are extremely, extremely cunning, right? So they can couch things as, oh, I'm just saying my opinion. I thought it was better when you guys didn't have civil rights. I believe that you guys are just innately predisposed for servitude and slavery. It's just an opinion. What are you gonna do? You're gonna kill me for opinion? Yeah? And then you sit there. What I'm saying is, we don't have the luxury to look at this as a purely intellectual argument or intellectual exercise. We don't have that luxury, because the people who are funding these people, I'm telling you, they are looking either extermination, servitude, or having us as a permanent underclass. That's what they're looking to accomplish.
bro, we've already seen this group be mobile.
That's what they're looking to accomplish.
We watched the president
That's
of the
what the
United
Democrats
States
accomplish.
incite a motherfucking insurrection, and they ran up in the United States Capitol and they killed a police officer and another woman got killed. They were going in there with zip ties and shit. We think they were gonna do if they encounter people. They had zip ties and weapons on them. What they're gonna sit there and just talk? Like, what the fuck? We've seen it
Yeah,
real
I don't want to move. No, I got
So
you. I got
Haskell
you.
said.
That's the
So
same
Haskell
group.
said, or
That's the
whoever.
same group
No,
we're talking
I
about.
agree with you. That's all you're saying. I agree. I don't
So
disagree with that.
So I just heard that the Republicans are trying to do what the Democrats have been doing for the past 50 years. Later.
No. It ain't about Republican or Democrat, Tony, and that's why and that's why I say, right. And
I don't
I
even know
don't
what
want
that
to
even meant.
I don't want to insult you, Tony, and I'm not going to. But
Yeah,
it goes to
but
my
you're about
point.
to.
But no, seriously though, Brad.
I
You
know.
could
There's
Go
insult
ahead.
me, but you don't know me.
Just insult him, Haskell. Don't say I'm not about
no,
to insult you and then
no,
insult him.
but I'm really not trying to though.
I
And I
know you're
don't
not
want to.
trying to, but saying it
Yeah.
don't make it no different. That's all. That's
All
my
right.
only point. Saying
So
you're not
this is
trying to and doing it.
yeah. So after all that I said a while ago, right? If the first place your brain goes to is a simple binary as Republican and Democrat, then your level of perceptiveness it isn't at a threshold to really perceive what is going on.
I'm good.
This goes beyond Democrat and Republican. You think there aren't Democrats who would sit idly by? So like once if the fervor gets whipped up enough, right? The Democrats might not be the ones that have the stomach to blow out a 13-year-old child, 13-year-old's brain like they did to Tamir Rice. But you know what the Democrat may do? They may, hey, it happens sometime. So there are Democrats who are white supremacists just like the Republicans, but they may not be willing to get in the field and they might not be able to stomach certain. So this ain't about Republican or Democrat. But go ahead, Tony.
Nah, I was good.
Um,
I mean, I look at it like this. Like, I mean, it's kind of simple. Like, we're in the same situation for 50 years. I mean, you know, at some point, someone's got to we got to do something different because what's happening for the past 30, 50 years, these Democrats just doing the same old thing, you know, is played. It's not working. They got to do something else. I mean, like before the first Democrats were cool, but these new Democrats, they're not like the ones from before. They're a little different. So it's like something's got to.
So Tony, do you agree with Charlie Kirk or something?
Yeah.
I agree with some of what he says.
don't
It's not,
disagree.
you know,
That's
I don't always I don't agree with everything everybody ever says. You know, that some things he agrees with, something he doesn't.
So what is making you what are the things that you what is he right about?
You want to answer it?
Far as it comes to black people.
No,
Because that's our issue. Our issue is not that he's conservative, is some of the rhetoric that he spews that would harm us.
And I don't agree with it. And I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it.
Oh, okay.
But he's trying to, you know, that's him. That's not me. What he's overall trying to do
what?
What I'm trying to explain, he's trying to overall show these wild
So you think he has an overall message that you can get behind and excuse the rhetoric that would affect us? You think his overall message is good for America?
I'm not excusing his rhetoric because that's his opinion. I mean,
hold on. Walk with me. I'm saying, like, if somebody's say like his overall message will be beneficial to America and not the rhetoric that he just spews for black people. You don't think that one can cancel out the other? You think he can be disparaging towards black people, but somehow be a benefit to America? That don't make sense to me.
Well, it's the policies that I'm looking at. I mean, he can say all he wants, but when it comes down to the policy, that's what I'm looking at.
What policy that would be beneficial to America?
Whatever policies that results from him pushing his information about
Keep going, Tony. Just keep going, bro.
Like whatever his point about dialogue and bringing people together. And
everybody say that he's not useful if that's just what it is.
He's not
because everybody talk about creating dialogue. Like anybody would say that. Like, so we don't need him for that. He's not famous for that.
But we don't. But
That's not why we.
there's nobody out there doing that.
Yeah.
What?
There's only people talking to their own people. There's nobody really bringing people together. You know what
He's
I'm saying?
looking to bring us together.
So, hey Tony, do you generally just agree with white nationalism?
No, I don't think he knows. No. If y'all listening to him talk,
he don't even know
he
what
don't
he's
know.
saying.
No, I know he doesn't, right? So that's why I'm asking. Right. So since you don't agree with white nationalists, you're defending like one of the best of them.
No, you're defending the final boss.
I'm not defending.
Nah, Richard's
I'm not defending his opinions. I'm not defending his opinions or like the ones that are, really.
Yes, you are. You just said the policies.
Yeah, I would agree.
Right. Well,
I would agree.
He's not a politician to make policies, is what I'm trying to say. Also,
he is though. That's the thing you don't know. Turning Point USA is a political group. They influence.
Why are you gonna say his policies and then say he's not a politician?
Go look up Turning Point USA.
He means in a sense of being in office.
He
means in a sense of being. Yeah, he means in a sense of, but that's what he means though, bro.
Hold on, wait, Haskell. But Turning Point USA, you gotta look. If y'all think the Heritage Foundation, if the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025 bothered you, hold on. If the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025 bothered you, go look up the Turning Point USA. That's all I'm gonna say to you. Just look it up and look at the shit that they espouse. Look at the shit that's a political action organization that mobilize. No, there are, but there are some. Like there's 1,000 niggas that can play basketball, but then there's Michael Jordan.
I'm not looking to like.
No, you don't know. It's not that you looking.
How do you know what I don't know?
Because you keep saying all he's doing is talking. He wasn't just talking.
That's what he is doing. He's talking. That's why he got shot.
No, he got shot while he was talking. That's the only time he was talking. This is a nigga that puts shit. He doesn't just talk about the shit that he's saying. He actually influences schools, K through 12, and policy and communities.
And the government votes for it, and people vote for it. Whose fault is that?
That's not how the government works, bro. That's not even what you saying. That's not. Him just talking on a college campus is way different than him trying to influence shit that goes against black communities, bro. It's two different things.
I haven't seen anything that he pushes that is detrimental to the black community.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Just go look.
Because you ain't looking.
Go look. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, okay, I'll look.
Because I'm telling you, he has, bro.
It ain't hard to find.
No, I'm not going to tell you. You won't understand. I'm not going to tell you. You won't understand. Just go find it. Just go find it. It's not a difficult thing.
I don't start looking for like. I already
so
see.
So why you advocating for what he stood for?
Because I already seen. Look, the whole overall arch thing for me is dialogue. Mm-hmm. Okay, whatever happens in there, cursing, screaming, spitting, I don't really give a shit what happens between that. Whatever the fuck he says, whatever the other side said, I don't give a fuck. The fact is what I like that they're talking. You're not getting what I'm trying to.
You're saying you like people saying hate speech back and forth.
You're trying to create and frame your own argument to argue it against me. My argument is dialogue. Communicate. Get things through, iron things out, because that's what he was doing. He was actually influencing these young kids.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
They were winning. That's all right. You might say that, but when you look at the facts,
no, based on what you're saying is what I get from that.
Right, he was influencing kids to be more white nationalists.
You can't say that he was.
Hey, we got somebody new in here too. I want to get
somebody over the head, bro. That's what brother saying.
But you can't say he wasn't influential.
No one said that neither.
All right.
And
that's why he got killed, because he was influencing people.
Hold on, real quick.
What if?
Hold on.
What if?
No one knows what. Go ahead.
Hold on, Sid. We got somebody to join the Discord just to have a conversation. They might only just be talking and leaving. I want to let them get their point out. Go ahead, Fairmont.
I'm done.
No, you got to be done. I just want to hear from the. We got.
No, I'm done. I'm doing this.
Okay, no, I got you.
I got house chores.
Yeah, and I'm about to step out anyway. Fairmont, if you got a mic, go ahead and talk. But yeah, go. I would still say go look up Turning Point. Turning Point is
I'll look it up. I'll look
it's a
it up.
little
I'll
rough.
look and
Yeah, it's a
see.
little rough.
You know, I really will look that shit up for real,
Yeah.
because I know how to look shit up, and I will look it up, and I will see what was the outcomes of his meetings with these people. What were the political outcomes? I'm gonna look at that.
He
Hey,
created.
Brass,
Go ahead.
you still up for doing Garvey later?
Yeah. I
All right.
asked you in the chat what time. Remember you said I was ducking it. Go back and look. I tagged you. I was asking you what time you want to have because I got to step out around 12, but I'll be back after that all day long.
All
But
right.
back to so just to give you a little bit, just a short search, right? So he created a school board watch list. This is Turning Point USA, K through 12 and universities. Says he built a national database to target school boards for teaching about racism, slavery, and systemic inequality. The result, though, it fueled recalls and elections where boards banned books, censored Black history curriculum, and fired superintendents in places like Virginia, Arizona, and Texas. Black students in those districts lost access to a fuller history and cultural representation. Turning Point USA celebrated and lobbied for bills in Florida. The state universities banned from using DEI funds. Alabama SB 129 outlawed DEI in schools and colleges, added bathroom restrictions by biological sex. TPUSA pushed these as wins in the campaigns. Turning Point Action ran Chase the Vote 2024. While not a law, it helped elect candidates who further then advanced anti-DEI bills, stricter policing in Black communities, stricter voting laws, and law and order platforms. These policies disproportionately hit Black voters and communities. Book bans, criminal justice. By elevating crime in Chicago as a national talking point, Kirk and Turning Point USA give political cover to calls for National Guard deployment to Black neighborhoods, state level laws increasing mandatory minimums, or enhancing police budgets. This is agenda setting. Trump, in 2025, Trump appointed Charlie Kirk to the U.S. Air Force Academy Board of Visitors. This is an oversight body for curriculum, meaning Kirk can push anti-DEI, anti-affirmative action policies inside of a federal academy. So he's not just a guy that was on college campuses talking. He was in the political. I'm gonna tell you right
question,
now.
Brass, is that racist? Because you got Black people who agree with
No,
those
I didn't
things.
say. I didn't say what he. I said
I was asking.
there are
I was
things
just asking.
No. I said he is racist, but when you're pushing anti-DEI, I don't look at as fully racist, but I know he pushed it as that. I don't think anti-affirmative action, but he's foolish enough to think he pushed it as that. The law and order reforms that he called for were specifically in Black communities. The book bans were specifically books on slavery and stealing a history that kids should be taught. So yeah,
what were the
he
outcomes
might
of
have.
those policies? What
So
were
if a
the
Black conservative had that same power and was able to, do the same things that Kirk did, would y'all be celebrating the death of a Black man based off his
I don't think
his stance?
anybody's. Why do you keep saying people are
No one's
celebrating his death?
celebrating his death.
I'm not
yes,
talking
they are.
about nobody. You said
People are
nobody.
celebrating
Okay,
it.
No.
People are
I'm
celebrating
asking
it.
you.
y'all
No, I'm
bugging. That's
asking
what
you.
I'm
Somebody
saying.
wasn't
No,
even
I'm not.
here.
People
I'm
are
not.
celebrating it.
Nobody in here is doing it.
People are
Not
celebrating it.
celebrating
People are doing it.
What
People
the hell?
definitely are
That's
doing
what I'm
it.
saying. We can't
In
Who
be
in this
here.
Discord?
People are
I'm not talking
celebrating
about
it.
nobody
In
in
here.
here. I'm not
In the
talking about
conversation.
nobody in here.
I don't give a
Okay,
fuck about what
Fetty.
the people
Okay,
what do
no.
got to
That's
do
all
with
I
me
was
then?
saying.
What
All
we
right,
gonna
bro.
talk
Y'all
about
got
then?
it, bro. Y'all got it.
Fetty, that's all I'm
Y'all
No,
got
saying.
it.
he's right. There are
I was
people,
trying to
people out
figure
there
out
are
who in
celebrating.
here. The world, yeah, there are
Yeah, we
people
don't
in the
we
world
know
doing
people
it.
are gonna
Other
be
countries
ignorant.
do it.
That's not a
Bro,
profound thing
that's
to
why
say.
I'm trying to get people to see the forest from the trees and say if this gains legs and this becomes a big topic, this is going to become something bigger outside of Kirk. That's all I'm saying. Like he shouldn't be the focus. It's dealing with again what Tony was talking about. I don't care if you have a extreme. I don't care if a person has all of the beliefs or whatever the opposite of mine. You still need to promote a healthy way to get those dialogues off, even though it can be racist or whatever. And if there's a group of people on social media championing a demise of a person based off that, then that's dangerous because we already in a society to where certain topics can't be had already. So now as a result of this, who's to say like, and I disagree with her on a lot of points. Let's say a person like Candace Owens or somebody like that may not be as open to share her opinions on him anymore based off the fact she's in fear for her life.
There's a chill effect.
Well, I don't care. I would hope nobody would want to share their hateful speech anymore. What the fuck? Y'all acting like these people were making some profound statements or something, bro. They weren't.
Again, bro,
People say the most
you
wildest
listen to
shit.
nothing I just said, bro. Like,
I
you
heard
got it,
everything
bro.
you're saying. You're caping for these people like as if what they're saying is something like that's beneficial, bro. They are talking pure lies and bullshit and propaganda. The fuck? That don't need no. You don't need a place for
this
that.
was not healthy dialogue. And if y'all just classifying what he was doing as healthy dialogue, then I think we need to readjust what healthy dialogue is.
He has
That
the space
wasn't
to
healthy
say what he wants. In
It wasn't
America, you
healthy.
won't go to jail for saying hateful, racist speech on a platform like that. But guess what? You might trigger somebody when you campaign and do it globally. Somebody might get triggered, bro. That's just how human beings act, man. You got to take that into account.
So the question,
They acting like it was like
Ted
government
Breeze, while you there,
allowed or something. Like we
the
allowed the
question
government.
for the show: should you be murdered for your rhetoric? Answer the question. Should you be
Hell
murdered?
no.
Should
Never.
you
No way.
if you put credit, if you put their
That's crazy.
hold on, Tony. Then you can go answer right after said Breeze. So you are someone that agrees, and somebody else got to take over for a second.
Yeah,
Are
go
you
one by
somebody
one.
that agrees
Let's
that you
go in
should
a
be
circle.
murdered
Everybody
for your
answer.
rhetoric?
So
Never.
one by one. Who's going first? So Seth goes first.
I don't think anyone should be murdered for their
Haskell,
rhetoric.
can you take over for a second, please?
However, in the climate of like those type of situations, those political climates that you see how people get riled up over these things, like you could rile someone up to that point. I'm not alarmed or shocked by that aspect of it. Do I think it should be happening? No. People should have control across the board, but we know that's not realistic. But I can see how it's possible, especially in a place where it's access to guns, all type of shit. It's possible somebody can get shot for something they say. It's not right, but it's possible. And if you ignore that shit, then you're trying to create some utopia that will never exist.
I don't like the word murder. I like the word executed. Should you be executed for your My answer is yes. My answer is yes. Because I remember watching the world and
Hold on, Snoopy. Snoopy's hold on. We're going in a line with the question. So Fairmont is next. Do you believe that some people people could possibly have rhetoric so harmful that they deserve to be removed from the planet?
Yes.
No.
No, Fairmont. Snoopy, we're going in a line. We're going in a line, Snoopy. Fairmont, you're next.
No.
Is the sound? We're going to say. You're just saying no, and that's it.
Somebody got background noise.
Can you hear me? Is my sound bad?
It's better now.
Yeah, I would say no. No one deserves to be killed for their rhetoric, no matter how extreme it is.
All right. You got more to add, or you just want to leave it there?
Because I wanted to point out, the brother kind of touched on Candace Owens. You know, she would go around with Charlie Kirk often to do these same kind of rallies and speak the same kind of rhetoric. So I have two questions.
Mm-hmm.
One, how would you guys feel if it was Candace Owens shot by
Hold on, but
fanatics?
we got a question on the table already, Fairmont. So let's get that question resolved, then we'll come back to yours. So we got next up the vaunted superstar of TMI, Brother Mujasi.
Oh, no, no, I'm not a superstar, not at all. I'm just a black man that's read one or two books. That's it. If I heard the question right, no. Regardless of how much I would disagree with someone on their political views, nobody deserves to be gunned down because of their views. That's the position that I land on. Whether how I feel about the person after their death, that's different. But do they deserve to be gunned down? I can't justify that in no way in my moral, ethical, and political being.
Done, Mujasi?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we got Stu Peas up next.
I'll say something after Stu.
Okay, this is me. Every genocide that ever occurred started dehumanization of human beings. And people, I didn't say murder, I said executed. Because I want a formal tribunal before you put a bullet in that person's head. Not just scare him and somebody off. Because when they want to be in Vietnam,
when the CIA murdered that Chinese girl who spoke perfect English, who was spreading propaganda. In Rwanda, when the radio stations were broadcasting, kill the cockroaches. These people are cockroaches. I was broadcasting very hateful speech that resulted in the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people. In Germany, when it happened. In the Soviet Union, when it happened. Before the Soviet Union was the Soviet Union. Hate speech is the first thing that starts before the murders. Hate speech starts and dehumanization of people start. But people say, oh, they are just words and words are just wind. That's lie. That's a lie. If you go through history and look at it, it starts with words. The Jews weren't cockroach and kike. But they turn them into that before they start putting them into ovens. And a lot of people sit back because they saw that these people were less than. Now, if you don't want to believe that, and if you want to believe that people can wash their hands of the situation, that they can wash their hands and say, I didn't kill it, I didn't throw the death stone, I just identified problems that I saw. No, no. And then people saying that people is allowed to have them arguments. How much poison would you allow in your water supply? Are you allowing people to poison your water supply because it wasn't enough poison to kill you? They just add a little poison that can make the society sick? No, people must be very careful. He could not do, Candace Owens couldn't do what she's doing in Israel. She couldn't do what she's doing in Israel.
Five more people. I'm not real quick, Stoopies. You can keep going if you want, but I just want to let y'all know 5 more people are left to answer the question. So if anybody's waiting to speak, just be patient. We got 5 more people after Stoopies.
Yeah. So when people say no, let me just finish. So when people say no, talk is talk. Talk is never talk. If you believe in politics, if you study politics, talk is never talk. Talk get people into power, and power get and with power, other people do very, very, very dangerous things.
Logic.
Yes. So I think that you got to be careful, right? Because if you say that people can or should be able to die because of what they say or who disagrees with them, well, who is the one holding the gun? You follow what I'm saying? Like you. So who gets to determine what is like shot worthy or not at that point? You get what I'm saying? Like we already would be, in our personal situation, we would already be the minority, right? So if we are trying to play the game in that particular way, it doesn't seem like it benefits us. Like it doesn't work in our favor because they would be the one determining what's acceptable speech and what's not acceptable. It takes even more power out of our hands. The way I look at it, and then if you add that up with possibly the military being on the streets, I mean, you almost don't even have free speech anymore at that point. Well, you couldn't because you can die for what you say. But ultimately, what I'm saying is, if we're not in control of what is, I guess acceptable speech, I can't see that working well for us. Go ahead. Anybody else want to say something?
So we got Smalls up next if he's available. If not, then Fetty is next. So I'm gonna give Smalls. Go ahead.
Yeah, my answer is fuck no. People should not be killed for their rhetoric. As Logic just made an excellent point. It depends on who's got the gun, who's espousing the rhetoric. That's a very good point. And as far as people spewing insightful shit, we have laws to deal with shit like that. We have First Amendment rights, but we also have laws to deal with people who are, doing that. And so I hear what you're saying, Stu Peas, but I don't think the answer is kill them. We have other ways to deal with it, so once you start making that the norm, then a lot of the shit that you know, we're saying on here is polarizing, you know, and so a lot of people who wouldn't agree with the things that some of the people on here are saying, you know, you'd be the target. So like, yeah, no, that's fucking ridiculous. So no.
Video next. If Fetty's not available, it's Cuban after him. And if Cuban's not available, then it's Chef. So we're gonna give Fetty 10 seconds, and we're gonna give Cuban 10 seconds after that. So let's see if Fetty's available. You there, Fetty? All right, I guess he's not there. So Cuban, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. You want to say something to the question?
I'm just gonna hold my opinion. My opinion and my thoughts are not respected or valued too well amongst people here. I like to listen, even though that is the view. I still like to learn from y'all, even if I disagree. So I'll decline my opinion, what I think. But what I would say is that the United States government is in no way, shape, form, or fashion justified to say, such as Kamala Harris, she just said, and others have stated that violence should not be, basically, I'm paraphrasing. She said it more simple, but I can't quite remember exactly how she said it, but basically violence should not be done to anybody because of what they say or think or believe. And so my issue with that is that if this is the free nation and the greatest nation in the world, then morally, who is America in any position to say that, but yet partakes in coups and assassinations and attempted assassinations, such as the attempted assassination of Fidel Castro 600 times. That's for what? Because his political position is different, his economy is different, or whatever other country is different. So I think that if it's going to be that, oh, we don't do this here, then be the example and be what you claim that you really are and demonstrate that to the world. And let people
Beautiful.
say what they want to say, if that's the case. You know, like we still live in a country where a homegrown terrorist organization still exists that was never dealt with, but yet goes halfway across the world and exterminates innocent people and takes out and takes over places, but yet you have the Ku Klux Klan still exists. So I just think that it's very biased. I think there's some double standards. I think there's some hypocrisy.
To be clear, Cuban, you said no, right? You said no, I believe.
My
Okay.
personal opinion, I'm not even going to say.
Oh yeah, you said you weren't gonna say. All right. So we got Chef last. We got Chef last, and then we go back to open. This open talking. So you there, Chef? Hold on, CPs. We're almost done. Is there Chef alone leave? You there, Chef?
Oh yeah. Listen, man. Like I live in a world where what you say out your mouth has consequences. I never lived in a world where you could just say whatever you wanted to say. So I think it's unrealistic for people to believe that they could, that you can say shit and it don't have consequences to it. So, if you're man enough to say certain shit, then you got to be man enough to know that there's going to be certain shit that could possibly come along with that. And then you got to be a man enough to be able to stand and take whatever comes or deal with whatever comes with that. That's a part of being a man. You feel me? So I don't want to take that away from human beings. You know what I mean? If you're strong enough to stand there and say something, you know what I mean, then you willing to deal with that shit.
Yeah. So
That's
real
my
quick
view.
before you
That's
go,
my view on it.
Stoopies. Real quick before you go, Stoopies, I want to say I felt the same way that you did, but now that I hear everybody's opinion and I'm thinking about it, there isn't really a way to enact something like that, right? So like in America, you got organizations like the North American Man Boy Love Association, right? It's literally an association that advocates for pedophilia to become like legal in the United States. Now, personally, I feel like you could wipe them people out. I wouldn't care. But the more that I think about it is it's a slippery slope. So as a society, we have to find some other way to stymie those kind of very harmful rhetoric outside of this outright execution. So I think I'm gonna adjust my position.
Okay,
There's no doubt that it's difficult. I'm gonna be sure. I'm gonna be sure. There's no doubt that it's difficult, but like but you gotta like some kind of way you have to juxtapose it to something, right? Because if I take exactly what Chef said, I feel like I could find a white nationalist that would have repeated that same stuff when Martin Luther King died. I believe that could be a part of the sentiment. Oh well, he shouldn't have been out there saying what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like this. It's kind of difficult when I juxtapose it. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but Martin
saying? It's
Luther
easy to
King
say.
didn't acknowledge that though. Hold on. But Martin Luther King acknowledged that though.
But that
He
don't mean it was
acknowledged that
right.
what he said could cost him his life. No, but he was man enough. Make you know this. You feel me? I gotta say it. So if you feel
I do know that.
yo, so somebody can motherfucking deal with your dumb ass. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, Shefford, this is what I am
Charlie
saying.
Kirk.
The victims, black people,
I
all
agree
of
with
a sudden,
that. I agree with that. Go ahead.
all of a sudden, black people sympathetic. We are the historical victims. All of our people who come out and stood for something that was against the system ended up dead because the system pushed back. Right? So that's how the system work. When your mouth write checks, be prepared for your ass to cash it. And whether it want to be extrajudicial or not, that is how politics and society work. Those outlayers sometimes get laid out. And they have to. They have to. Because sometimes change, whether good or bad, is very disruptive to our system. No, we are hoping that going forward we'll have change for the good. But many persons are resistant to change for the good. They're telling people that liberalization is bad, that this people is bad, that people is bad, because they are not us. That they're not us. So therefore, we can do what we please. And don't play with what is happening. Don't play with all of these young black men who diluted by white people argument, who can't see a griff coming from a mile. Because they programming them over time. So when he was writing checks, that his ass can't crash. All that happened is that the chicken came out to roost. The chicken came home to roost for Malcolm, for Martin, but they was on the side of good. And history acknowledged that. Well, history will acknowledge whether Charlie Kirk was on the side of good. And I can bet that history will say no. He was a hateful individual who espoused hate speech. History is the deciding factor. After people die to decide who was on the side of good and who was on the side of bad. And I prefer to die on the side of good. But that is how it works.
You know, there's two variables that I want to make sure that we add to this conversation so we can distinguish between our arguments. Justification or deserving something versus consequences and what's inevitable. And I think that what's happening is that we're kind of infusing both of those in as we evaluate this conversation. What my brother Chef elevated was that this is the consequences of taking on a certain position. This is the consequences of doing certain things. And what logic is elevating is he's elevating, like, is it justifiable? And how do we take that ethical justification process and apply it to other situations? And they're different because sometimes when we evaluate this, in when we put it in juxtapose it to some of our martyrs who's died and what
Cuban was elevating is that we have to look at who's the ethical standard, who's evaluating, who's behind the gun, and are they doing this based off of their justifiable reasons? Do this person deserve to die because of this position? Versus, are they more than likely going to die because of the consequences of their position and what they're doing? And they're different. And if we kind of blend the two, then it's going to make it difficult to distinguish between how we evaluate this or not. I'm very clear. I don't think he deserved to die. I don't think it was justifiable to take his life because he had these ideas. Whether I don't agree with nothing he said. I don't think he deserved death because of it. Because then I would have to reevaluate my position on numerous different incidents, like Cuban was saying, in terms of how America has put themselves in a judiciary position to deserve who can live and who doesn't because their political and ideological views. I'll land there.
I just
Still
add
here?
something.
Hey, Mujasi, you know what you have the ability to do that I don't?
What's that?
You have the ability for me and you to almost say the same exact thing, and I will immediately get yelled at, screamed at. What are you talking about? This, that, the other. I'm gonna hire you as a PR coach because I swear to you, I said the same exact thing yesterday, and the pitchforks came out for
Oh
what I
man.
said. But in here, it was
Man, I
like
said the
it was
same
like
thing, and the
it was
pitchforks
like
came
a
out on me
choir
too.
director. When you was talking, nobody said a word, and it was like a choir director hushed the gospel choir when you was done. So I
Oh
need to
brother.
I need to talk about how I present my arguments or something. Because apparently we could say almost the exact
Bro, we
same
literally
thing.
said the same thing you said, Mujasi, and I got killed for it.
Oh wow.
But go ahead. Somebody said they wanted to talk.
I just wanted to just say, actually compliment your guys have had some very interesting shows. Very interesting shows and topics. And I like the diversity in the perspectives. So I just wanted to compliment you on that.
Oh, yeah, no, I appreciate that. Well, we appreciate that. Speaking for everybody. I like to create a space. That's why even though we don't agree with Tony or people may have a adverse reaction to what he's saying, I still want them to be able to get the shit out because then we can at least get to the heart of, even if we vehemently disagree, get to the heart of what it meant. Because my biggest confusion wasn't even what Tony was saying. My biggest confusion is how did we get from Charlie Kirk to black on black crime in Chicago? And then that would help me understand more of what he's saying. You know, that would help me more understand what he's trying to, at least the point he's trying to get across, not get so, because sometimes we'll get so caught up in what a person is saying, we forget there's an actual point he's trying to get across. So if we don't hear that and we just immediately shout him down, we just don't get nowhere. So I actually want people in here that don't, I prefer we all don't agree. Now y'all might think that leads to arguments, but what it does is it gives you a better idea of what conversations across the United States are having right now. Because believe it or not, there's some white nationalist discords right now having the same conversation right now. And imagine being a person in there, one of us sitting in that conversation and thinking we're going to be able to be heard. So everybody at least deserves to be heard. Now, when you get your shot to be heard, what you say in some cases determines whether you need to be heard again. Because if you're just trying to troll and this, that, and the other, trolling is cool sometimes, but sometimes I just want to hear, really what somebody think. I appreciate you, Haskell, for taking over the panel. Where I was going, I didn't hear what y'all was talking about, but it seemed pretty orderly. Cuban, what was your point about
Hey, Fairmont had posed a question after we had went around the room. I didn't know if we wanted to still address that. I don't know if
Oh,
he
he
put a
did
pin
speak.
in.
Shouts to him. I didn't know if he
I don't know
actually
if he put a
spoke.
pin in that question. I remember Haskell wanted us to go around the room, but I don't know. I was just trying to see if we could.
What was the question?
I don't remember. That's why I was trying to help him out.
Yeah,
Fairmont, what was your question?
yeah. The question was it was two questions. One, if you would feel the same way if it was Candace Owens that was shot, because she used to travel around with Charlie Kirk and she shared the same views. So that's one. The second one, in terms of bringing it to like the conscious community, Captain Tazariak. If you found out today he was killed by a white man for the views and the rhetoric he spews, how would you guys feel?
Candace Owens, I would feel similar in the way I feel now. I don't know if she has children, because my main concern was children.
She
It is
has
what it
children.
is. Okay, so my concern would be for her children, not her, because I keep saying it. If you campaign on hate, you'll get elected. You can't. The things that you get campaigned on, that you campaign on all the time. These are things that will. They'll. I don't believe in the chickens coming home to roost. I think it's actually a vile statement. But if you're doing that, that's a consequence of what could happen. You know what I mean? So if she got shot while she was talking, I would feel worse. One, it's a black woman, no matter what anybody say. Two, I don't think I think she's more a talking head though, Fairmont. I don't think one Kirk has always been it's always been that he that turning point USA, you weaponized your argument, you politicized your argument, you made it a tool. That's always going to be a little different for me when it comes to Candace Owens. Candace Owens is a talking head on YouTube. I look at her almost like a streamer now. As far as Captain Cesario, if a white person killed him, I don't know what does he say? Does he speak against white people? I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily know his talking points.
I mean, he has the black Hebrew Israelite
He didn't say white babies should be. I mean,
He
all
talk
of
about killing white people.
Yeah.
He don't talk about. He don't speak against them. He talk about killing them.
I mean, they ultimately believe
I mean,
that
they black Hebrew Israelites.
And they also openly say they want to enslave them too.
exactly. That's
They
what I was
say
about
all
to say.
kind of wild.
Exactly. They want to kill. They want to kill. They hate the black folks. Them black Hebrews. They hate Africans. They hate them, and then they hate white folks too.
All right. I mean, we get back to the questions. We were going around the room. I don't know.
And my answer for Captain Tazariak, if that's the case, then it would be no different. You know, if you can't, I agree with Said Breeze in this statement. If you run around spewing rhetoric and hate, and then somehow that same hate finds you, then I'll say just like my grandmother says, everybody ain't playing and everybody ain't talking. Some people, when you say certain things or you do certain things, you can't, just because you slap me don't mean I won't shoot you. So yeah. I mean, it would really be no difference, but it would also be a black person, so I would feel differently about it, if that makes sense. Somebody else could do it. I don't know enough about.
I mean,
Captain
I don't want no one to ever get killed for the shit they saying. You know what I'm saying? Like never in any world. And in the best case scenario, I would like if we would find a way to deplatform these folks, like hold the people on these who own these publications and platforms accountable for allowing them to use their shit to spew this free hate speech, because algorithmic free speech ain't the same as free speech. When you got a platform that's getting blasted out to all these different people and you got a wide reach than just a regular motherfucker, that's not just free speech no more. And you're doing way more. You're doing a lot of harm at that point. So we don't got not kill them, but don't help them have the voice. Don't uplift them. Don't let them be on these platforms like that. That's the way let them go somewhere over in the corner with their own little folks and talk that shit over there. But when it's out to the public, it's getting to everyone. The 15-year-old on Instagram and Twitter, the 12-year-old, like that's fucking dangerous.
Said,
You know
before you stop, I got a question.
Facts.
Hold on. It said Breeze and Mujasi. I wanna add a piece to your question, pause. Fairmont. Then should Sarnetta be killed for showing it and promoting it?
Wait, what? I'm
If
lost.
we're saying anybody that says Tazariak should be killed, right? Anybody that agrees that Tazariak should be killed, then understand we would never even know who Tazariak is at first if it wasn't for Sarnetta and them. So should Sarnetta be also killed? This is where the slippery slope of killing people gets crazy. Because
and after they answer, Brad,
no, I don't think no one should be killed. I'm saying like no one should.
I'm saying people that
shouldn't
do. I'm saying people that do. Because Hits just said in the Discord, I'm trying to get his clarification to see if he means killed. He said you should be out of here for rhetoric. Then wouldn't the person that's promoting the rhetoric also hold the same responsibility? If we just killing
it would be
people for
more
rhetoric
like YouTube. I would be more like, yo, why are you allowing these people to at wide ranges and numbers use this shit on your platform? Like, you could openly be like,
well, that's
people
free
will
speech.
stop using this shit.
No, it's free speech.
It's not free speech when it's rallying people up to.
No, but it is free speech. No,
when the free speech is talking about harmful people and
no, it's
conditions
free
you would like to
speech.
inflict on
Trust me,
people.
Sam. In the Constitution, the reason why they yell the fire. The reason why these are
private businesses. You don't have to allow that. Free speech means you won't go to jail for it.
Yeah, but we can't tell a private business also what to do. That's in the media and communication. What I'm saying,
and they will get the picture.
No, there's
That's how most things are done.
At some point, you do something. At some point, they'll allow you to go XYZ, this, that, and the other. The guy that was talking about the Rutgers basketball female team, he had been saying a whole bunch of crazy shit over time. And then finally, after a while, he got comfortable and called them nappy-headed hoes and lost everything. Right. So I'm saying they'll allow you free speech until the free speech is too far. Yelling fire in a theater, the reason in the Constitution in regards to free speech, you can say pretty much whatever you want, but the key word is it can't lead to immediate danger. So with him saying what he's saying on a college campus amongst people, it could be the most hateful rhetoric, this, that, and the other. But unless what he says at 4:00 leads to something immediate, it's not illegal under the Constitution. That's the difference in free speech. Just so we clear.
Yeah, we understand what.
Right. No. But my point is, but answer that question though. If rhetoric can get you unalived and removed, what about the people that push it? What about the people that promote it to people? That like Fox News, like the head of Fox News.
I think if you openly take those people's message and promote it on your platform or whatnot, yeah, you're complicit. You're for sure.
Okay. Then but see, now you see for the people that say you should be killed for rhetoric, you know how many people
I
you
never
gotta kill
once
for
thought
rhetoric?
that, by the way.
Now Hit said unalive. You know how many people you'd have to kill?
Yeah. Should you kill the messenger?
You'd have to if you believe you killing for rhetoric.
Platform the messenger though.
Yeah.
I don't think you should kill the messenger.
No, I'm not saying anybody should be killed, but there are people
don't get far.
No, just so we're clear, I don't think you should be killed for your rhetoric. I'm asking the people that do believe you should be killed for your rhetoric. Then, if that's the case,
I never think
then it would have to be. Then you know how many people you'd have to kill, bro?
You can end up getting
Here's
killed.
Here's the thing. For those that disagree with Charlie's views, killing him is the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, you just made him a martyr.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I agree to that.
Amazing point.
I agree to that. They martyred him. They made him a martyr.
Yeah.
Like he was literally saying this shit is the most important assassination since MLK, bro. Like, come on, bro. That's the
there are governments that don't kill certain people because they know what that should have turned that motherfucker into. That's why you do shit like that.
I tell people
he'll be more powerful in his death than he ever was alive.
Exactly. That's what I tell people. I said, don't they look at the recent history? Anytime you try to do something like that, it backfires in a real bad way for the people that are trying
Give
to.
me an example. Give me a real life example.
Trump. They tried to kill Trump a few times, and look what happened.
He done lost popularity. He had 30%. He had his worst.
He
the least popular president that ever been a president before.
That's
right
okay.
now.
That's okay. He's about to get a third term.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
This is why I don't be listening to these niggas, bro. Y'all listen to a lot of bullshit, bro. Y'all listen to a whole lot of bullshit.
Let our platform this question now.
Nobody's gonna be nobody's gonna go up in arms about Charlie Kirk. None of them niggas, none of them right wing. They like his rhetoric. He riles them up, but nobody's finna go and riot or do anything about Charlie Kirk. They don't give a fuck about Charlie Kirk, bro. Nobody's gonna make him some type of and it's gonna be a whole movement, and they gonna come out and start killing black people. Stop it.
Nobody said that. Nobody said killing black people.
What y'all keep being scared. What I notice is that everybody who come on and comment keeps being scared to say the motherfucker got the shit that he had been talking about for 10 years. He said he was good with it.
We all been saying that, Corey.
He said he was good with what he got. It's actually he actually said that some people got to be sacrificed.
Yeah,
he did say that.
Corey,
we up here sitting up trying to act like we supposed to take the higher road and all this old wild shit. You're not supposed to. I've seen countries not assassinate people because those were motherfuckers who was going against the government.
What show?
Motherfucker who on the side.
Good, get off.
Doing the regime. They're not talking about the people that's on the side with the regime. They talking about the people that's against the oppressive regime. Not the motherfuckers that's helping out, put the propaganda out that's helping the fucking oppressive regime. Those ain't the ones who become martyrs and all of the shit that y'all was saying.
Did you just start listening to the show 5 minutes ago? You had to have only been listening to the show for about 5 minutes. Niggas done said 1,000 times he campaigned on hate. He got what he deserved. You chopped us through, Corey. Corey, you chopped up. Corey, you chopped up. Just go out and come back.
Yeah, your phone breaking up, Corey.
Yeah, you chopped up bad. You chopped up, G. Just come back.
I'll go out and come back in.
Yeah, go out and come back in.
Peeking.
Corey phone know when he angry. That's what it is. Corey phone be like, hold on. Okay,
you start thinking.
Go ahead, Corey.
Said anything about anybody deserving anything. The word deserve never came out of my mouth.
No,
right?
I didn't say that either.
Okay, all right, because
I'm saying no.
Keep going there. Y'all keep going. First I heard celebrating, then I heard the other wild ass nigga that I just about cussed out while I'm in the middle of working, right? Then I get back on the phone again. We talking about you just gonna make him
You gotta love Corey, bro.
You got to, bro.
You gotta love.
Hey,
you gotta love.
that's right.
I wouldn't say he's a
That is himself, yo. That nigga is him.
Himself.
His rhetoric is amplified.
He is himself, yo.
His rhetoric is being amplified right now.
No. But Corey, I don't know. I know you didn't hear us, and you chopped up.
What I'm trying to say real quick, man, because I'm chopped up again.
We didn't hear nothing you said. You clear now. We didn't hear nothing you said before that. You clear now.
Well, I'm gonna go back to what I was saying.
Okay.
The martyrs are made from the niggas who's going against the oppressive regime, not the niggas that's supporting not the rhetoric for the fucking oppressive regime.
Good point.
You see what I'm saying?
That's a good point. So that would be like, so you mean like a Che Guevara going against Cuba and what was going on in Cuba, he would be a martyr, not necessarily a nigga that's going with
niggas and all wild shit, bro.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I was just
That
saying
makes
that
more
his
sense.
message is being amplified.
No, that makes more sense because you can't become a martyr without dealing with the overall community. Yeah.
His message is
If somebody
amplified though.
kills Smotrich, no, it's not. It was already amplified by the government, bro. Nobody's got to amplify because the government is already doing it. The regime,
I
the
meant more like
oppressive
people who've
regime
never heard of
is
the man.
already pushing. The oppressive regime is already pushing the bullshit. His message ain't no louder. It's not no louder. They can say, oh, now this is why we doing what we wanted to do any fucking way.
His message was
Like
effective
it's
to
not.
young
I
people.
meant for the people who never even heard of him before, like they're hearing about him today because
Yeah,
of his death.
people who never even heard of him before,
Yeah.
it don't matter to them.
Nah, for
It
sure. But
don't
I'm just
matter
saying,
to
like,
them.
that's what I mean. Like, he's getting more, like, it's getting like amplified to a degree because it's reaching places people never even talked about the man before.
It should be amplified. It should amplify the people who didn't know his ass. Because this is the shit that when it gets you fucked up is the shit that you be asking for. This is an example of fucking around and finding out of getting what you was looking for. See, this is a prime example of that. But we can't say that. We're supposed to take the higher road because we gonna make him a martyr. We gonna make white folk want to kill black folk as if that ain't what the fuck somebody want to do any goddamn way. Like us saying something against Charlie Kirk while his ass is dead is gonna make white folks go up in arms. No, white folks is already batshit crazy. It's 4 guns in America for every fucking human being. Now y'all gonna tell me white folk ain't batshit crazy all fucking ready? We gonna make a martyr. We gonna make white folks come up in arms. And I hope it wasn't a nigga who did it because all black folk gotta watch out. No, black folk better watch out. Since we come up on these motherfucking shores, we been better watched out. You niggas ain't know? You niggas didn't know that the whole time? You better be watching the fuck out. It don't take Charlie Kirk and some wild ass nigga to get on here and ask me what about Chicago. Like that, a bunch of wild bullshit that the regime pushes. Not Charlie Kirk. He just a voice for the regime. This is the regime's rhetoric. The Trump regime, the Republican regime, the gun lobbyists. What's the motherfucking gun sale people? Raytheon. This is a Raytheon. It's a Raytheon rhetoric. And all of the arms dealing motherfuckers. See what I'm saying? They already done put the fucking rhetoric out there. They done already said everything that could be possibly said. Black folk supposed to be quiet and be nice and say thoughtfuls and prayers and all the rest of the book. No. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Call a duck, a spade a spade. See, that's the fucking problem where we at right now, because nobody wants to call a spade a spade.
Preacher.
We get the well, what about? What about? No, what about all these white folk, these honkies killing up each other at a rate black folks couldn't imagine? Huh? What you say, Concrete? Did you say white folk? This is what y'all ain't been saying the whole time.
Brad said
White
earlier.
folk been killing each other at a rate that black folk couldn't even imagine. We couldn't even afford the ammo to kill as much as they kill each other.
That's false.
We couldn't even afford the goddamn ammo to kill up niggas as much as honkies kill honkies.
Who's doing the fact checking?
Go ahead. Fact check me. I love when you niggas, I love it when I say shit that you niggas can't believe. And then you say, well, actually, well, I mean, you right, but I mean, when you look at it this
But
way,
what about Chicago?
see? And what about
What about
Chicago?
Chicago?
Oh, wow. All the fucking wow. You know, I work and I travel and I shop in Chicago every fucking week. I take my daughters, my 4-year-old and my 9-year-old. You know, Chicago is their favorite city to go to. When they see those skyscrapers, when we on the highway, when we on 94, and we coming into the city, and they see them motherfucking skyscrapers, they know we finna have a ball. They know we finna go and do something exciting and have some fucking fun in the big city. They love riding the scooters and shit up and down Wacker Drive and shit. Michigan Avenue. A beautiful, the best city I've ever been. I done been to a lot of places. Chicago's my favorite fucking city in the goddamn world. Now, I ain't been to all the cities, but so far, Chicago is my favorite city in the fucking world. And guess what? Chicago know how to treat niggas. Chicago welcomes niggas and treats niggas like human beings in Chicago. I go to these other cities, these affluent areas in other cities. They look like we ain't supposed to be there. See what I'm saying? But you go down to Chicago, I'm not saying, oh, it ain't no wild places in Chicago, but motherfuckers is going to get fucked up because they in close proximity of each other. They living all up over the top of each other, and they poor. You see what I'm saying? But we don't factor that in. We talk about, well, what about the government? Well, get these niggas some jobs and some money and some affordable housing, and I bet you won't see all that crime. As a matter of fact, crime's been dropping for the same reason why crime was dropping in Washington, D.C. See, I bet you niggas don't know why the crime rate is a 30-year low of crime in Washington, D.C. I bet you niggas don't know why. It's the same reason why the crime rate is dropping in Chicago. It's because of the fucking relationship that the authorities is building with the community. Motherfuckers on the ground, not saying, well, what about Chicago every time some white folk get shot? It's motherfuckers on the ground building relationships. And you niggas, not all of y'all, but the nigga that I heard earlier probably never even been to fucking Chicago before. But he talking about, what about Chicago? Well, what kind of relationship building was you doing down in there? Or did you even know that the crime rate done been at a fucking 20-year low? It's been dropping. They have these, what the problem is, they'll have a shooting and then it goes national news, and now that's all every motherfucker's talking about. They don't talk about the white boy that shot up the goddamn factory in Chicago, though. Or the fucking white boy that got road rage and got out and beat another white boy to death with a fucking... See, that don't make national news. How crazy white folks is. Go to Chicago and look at the local news. And you gonna see motherfuckers is pushing motherfuckers off of buildings. Motherfuckers is kidnapping motherfuckers and putting them in the sex rings and shit, sex trafficking, all kind of white folk. White folks is doing it. The mob. Y'all think that shit's out in New York? Y'all think the mob and mob hits go on in New York back in the 80s? No, nigga. That shit go on in Chicago in 2025. See what I'm saying? Y'all niggas is fooled by the propaganda that the regime them put out. And now you're trying to tell me I better be careful because somebody's gonna be a goddamn martyr. Y'all need to cut this bull. Y'all on here talking soft.
Hey, Corey.
To a bunch of wild ass niggas.
Hey,
Go
Corey,
ahead.
can you do me a favor? can you put Chef's name to the shit you saying though? I'd appreciate it. Cause Chef was the nigga that said the shit about Chicago with Tony. Just so we clear.
Well, I didn't hear. I wasn't there. I hung up when Tony said it. I didn't hear Chef.
Chef said it's black on black crime and release the military. And I'm telling you, niggas in Chicago is walking around trying to figure out what the fuck is going on that military is needed for. The governor don't want to do it, the mayor don't want to do it, and the people don't want to do it. But it's niggas on the internet.
It's the regime that want to do it.
So concentrated, man.
It's the oppressive regime that wants to.
Ain't never been to Chicago that think it's the worst place in the world. I've been to Chicago. That's the Midwest New York City, nigga.
It's the Midwest New York, right? But it's a city of love. You see what I'm saying? It's actually a city of love, bro.
Yeah, that wasn't just.
I need to come out here. Come out here.
Hey, Corey, just to help you out a little bit, no one in here was saying.
See, motherfuckers don't talk about how Indiana's gun laws is laxed. You see what I'm saying? Because all them guns in Chicago, guess where they come from? From my city, from my home city, the city where I'm born and raised in good old Indiana, good old Republican Indiana, where you can walk around, where you can walk through Walmarts with 3 AR-15s strapped to your fucking neck. See? No, nobody's saying nothing about that.
Nah, because they like that shit. They like the guns, man.
Yeah. Nobody said, I didn't hear no motherfucker talk about the kids that got shot up in Colorado yesterday. Did nobody know that a bunch of kids got shot up in Colorado at a school?
Right before. Yeah. I told you. We mentioned it. It was a school shooting right before that. Somehow this racist motherfucker is top of the news.
After he get through throwing salt on shit like that, school shootings and shit like that, he actually talked himself right. His rhetoric and the shit that his advocacy, because he advocates for it, for violence, for gun life. He calls for the death of motherfuckers. He advocates. And his advocacy got him shot in the neck. The shit that he actually advocates for is what he got. Why did he advocate for it? Because he thought he was insulated. He didn't know it was real. He didn't know white folk kill. He thought it was just niggas. See, somebody told him that it was a black on black thing. Black on black is the crime that needs to be stopped. But he didn't realize that white folk is the only one doing all the goddamn killing when you look at the numbers. He didn't realize that. Just like the one nigga, I don't know what his name, Tony? Phony Tony? Baloney Tony? Like, he didn't realize that them hunkies kill up more than any nigga could dream of. And way more savage ways. This nigga couldn't stomach some of the ways that white folk kill. He wouldn't be able to stomach it. Yet he want to say, well, what about Chicago? All this old tough guy. Well, he talking about black on black crime. Listen what this nigga did, Brass. Unbelievable shit. You can't even make this shit up. I promise you I'm not this creative. Then in the middle of him talking about, well, what about black on black crime in Chicago and all that, the nigga goes to tell me, well, nigga, you wouldn't talk to me like that if we was in face to face. Oh, wild shit that you couldn't make it up, Brass.
Yeah, but stop the killing.
I forgot you said that. I forgot. I ain't even.
Wow, shit. That's why like this nigga hang up the phone.
I forgot you said that.
I'm not talking to these niggas no more.
And then said, but if you was in front of me though, we be doing some black on black crime.
Wow, shit.
It'll be some furniture moving if you was in front of me. There be some furniture moving.
There's some furniture moving around this motherfucker. You wouldn't
Right.
even do it.
Y'all
All
kill
right,
me.
man.
Like, I'm glad Corey came with show my energy, bro. Am I hearing this shit, bro? Am I hearing what I'm hearing?
I'm with now, man. I'm with my man's Atma. I'm not entertaining this shit no more, bro. Because it's dangerous. I keep telling y'all that the mis and disinformation is deadly. I keep saying it over and over and over and over again that this shit is deadly, bro. Just because it ain't got you dead yet, don't mean it ain't deadly, bro. We gotta quit entertaining this bullshit, bro. Call bullshit when you see bullshit.
What's up,
Call
Puppy?
it.
What are you doing? You being a good boy?
You shut it down, Corey. They silent, man. They
Because it ain't no comeback for that. Because they
it ain't.
start thinking about their own family members. They start thinking about their own neighborhood and shit like that. They start thinking about themselves. Because that's what the real deal is. When these white folk run up in one of your kids' schools. Because your kids ain't safe. In Chicago, the kids is good in the neighborhood. They riding scooters and dirt bikes and all kind of shit up and down the street. Right now, go down there. Go down to the south side. Go down to the west side. Go to the projects. But you know where it's dangerous at? Where they more likely to be shot in the fucking face at? At kindergarten. They more likely to be shot in the fucking face on the playground at kindergarten than they is in a neighborhood. In the neighborhoods that you niggas saying is dangerous. See, all the kids, not just black kids,
Yeah, all kids.
every child in America, the most dangerous place for them to be right now today
In school.
is at school.
That's
Going to the first and second grade, going to the fifth grade, being a
Wait, hold
junior.
on. Who said
That's
that's not
dangerous
true?
today.
Who said that's not true? Because that's very true. Guns are the number one killer of children in the last 3 to 5 years. That's
Wild
that's not a made
shit.
up stat.
I was referring
Not
to.
car accidents, not cancer, guns.
You just was talking. You just wanted to think you could rebut somebody because you think it's a bunch of dumb niggas on here.
No, I don't. What I wanted to say is because I have made a comment in the chat, and Brass asked me to respond. The number one cause of death of black men from the age of like 18 to 30 is homicide. The number
We
one
said
cause of death.
children.
Talking about kids.
We said children.
I'm talking about the point of why they call it black on black violence, even though I don't agree
I
with
don't
the
give a
term.
fuck about why they call it. I don't
So
want to hear.
my point is,
I don't want to hear it. I'm finna go. I don't want to hear the bullshit.
My point is, even though I don't agree with the term, because I feel like when you try to isolate it, you don't galvanize the country to solve it. It should be an American problem. But my point is, in terms of some statistics that was mentioned earlier, the number one cause of death amongst black men between 18 and about 32 is homicide from other black men. The number one cause of death of white men, the same demographic, is vehicle homicide, is from car crashes. So it is an issue whether we want to accept it or not.
Anybody talking?
Yeah, it got quiet for a second. Where's everybody
everybody
at?
mics and stuff. No, everybody mics and stuff went out. So you keep hearing people click off and click back on to get everything. It be glitching sometimes, y'all.
Damn.
Gotcha.
All right, bet. I was like, nigga, it was silent. I was like, nigga.
Right. I heard those statistics thrown out, and then everything just went silent.
Yeah, I'm about to say my nigga dropped a bomb apparently. Oh shit.
What statistics? I ain't hear it. What did he say?
Yeah, run it back on that nigga.
How y'all niggas don't believe on black crime? I'm still stuck right there.
With the black on black crime, even though I don't agree with the term per se in terms of finding solutions, but it is a reality because, as I mentioned, the number one cause of death amongst black men from like 18 to 32 is homicide from other black men. In that same demographic, white men, the number one cause of death is car crashes.
What that got to do with that?
So that
the
somehow
children though,
proves
like
black on black
I'm lost.
crime is real. That's what you're alluding to. That means
Yeah, it's
yeah, but
real in the sense that there's a disproportionate amount of homicides.
I bet you if you
black
dig within that, it'll be mostly gang controlled and concentrated violence. It ain't just random black niggas just popping up dead. It's usually something concentrated in that way. It's not that cut and dry.
No, you're right. You're right about that because in every community, it's a very small percentage of black men that are committing these homicides. You're correct on that.
Amlodipine and hydrochlorothiazide.
But it's still at such a high rate
And 10
causes
or the
the
5
numbers
is
to reflect that the number one
amlodipine
cause of
10.
death
No, I think they're
is
both 5.
homicide.
Yeah, they're both 5.
Yo, mute up, bruh.
Hydrochlorothiazide.
You know, Fairmont, I think here's a question that I'm curious to hear what brothers think about this. And I'm not sure where this enters into the conversation and where it departs, because I'm not sure what Corey's position was yesterday. I wasn't here. But is it a necessity to bring up the homicide and the death rates of black men, let's say black men, which was specifically talking about black men, that's perpetuated by other black men in the midst of a conversation where we're talking about racial violence, white men murdering black bodies? Like,
political
is that
violence.
right? Political violence. Is that appropriate? Is that deserving? Like, and that, the reason why I ask that is, and I'll land here, when George Floyd was murdered the other year, a few years ago, I can't remember, man, time that went past, a few years ago, you know, a lot of us was like organizing and doing all this stuff, protecting our community, blah, 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 blah. But one thing that came up was a counter narrative campaign to bring awareness to the homicides that was happening in our community. And it almost seemed like there was a bottleneck where they were competing for the attention because there was a lot of national attention and even global attention, elevating the discourse on political violence around racial hatred and white body suppressing black men, black bodies. But there was a counter narrative that was pushed up again. But what about black on black violence? And what about black men killing other black men? Does that deserve the same level of attention in the exact same discourse? That's the question I ask.
It deserves more.
I would say
more.
It's a
We were up in
weaponized.
arms about police officers killing unarmed
It's a
black men. We weren't up in
weaponized
arms with the nigga
term.
who brandished a weapon towards the police. We didn't go march for that person. It was about the killing of unarmed black men. That's what that was about. Those are separate issues, though.
How we got to the point was the brother earlier had brought in Chicago, and what he was trying to allude to, at least how I interpret it,
Thanks, Moss.
allude to people being shot over words, right? And I think what he's talking about, what he was alluding to, was gun violence in this country. So he was kind of connecting those two things. But in a general sense,
gotcha.
I wouldn't have the conversation and bringing up black on black violence, but I wanted since it kind of evolved there, and people were saying that black on black violence doesn't exist. That's why I brought up this
No,
statistic.
that's not what we. No. That's not what we're saying.
I never said
So
black
just
people
so
don't
we're
commit
clear,
crimes with other
yeah.
black
That's not
people.
what we said.
It's the
We're not
labeling
saying that there's no
in the
such thing.
framing, in the framework you're using it in. You're not just saying it like it's just some thing. You're making it seem like it's
Nigga,
disproportionate,
get
and
out of
it's
my ear
not.
with all that bullshit. Can't you hear him talking, motherfucker? Back the fuck up, nigga.
Like black men getting arrested is disproportionate. Exonerations,
My
black
fault.
men
There's a
making
nigga over
that.
my
Like I
goddamn
mean,
shoulder. My fault. Go ahead.
it is what it is, man. I don't know.
No, I agree.
Nigga,
I
he
agree
was
with
over
you,
my
bro.
shoulder
It's
talking
like
about
we
what
missed
y'all
so
talking
many
about.
points.
Nigga, mind your business.
Just to hunker down that we just got these deranged motherfuckers and shit crazy.
I think
No.
two things
Hold
can
on,
be true.
Fairmont. I
I
want to get my
think two
point
things
out. Not
can
if
be
this
true.
ignorant niggas not paying attention to me.
Well,
Yeah, you bitch ass nigga.
Fairmont, were you around when Brass read where the origins of that
Hold on,
phraseology?
Smalls. Let me get this point out because I can't. No. Go ahead,
Or when when and where the origins of that phraseology came from? You were around for that?
Yeah, and I had said, I prefaced my statement with saying I don't even agree with the terminology.
Oh,
Because I think it should be understood as an American problem instead of trying to isolate to Black America. You know what I'm saying?
Like right there.
You'll
But
find
Fairmont, we're not saying that there's no such thing as black on black violence. We're not saying that. I'm just making sure when you say black
because
on
my
black
thing
crime,
is
that's
I
can y'all hear me?
I can't agree with that terminology either.
I can hear you. I can hear you,
Okay.
Brass.
All right,
Yeah,
so
I can hear you.
when y'all say black on black crime, you got to understand that's a weaponized term. That's like literally created.
What about Brass?
Huh? Oh, well, that's a
Smalls. Can you hear Brass? Brass is talking.
No,
I
what
can
it
hear.
is tell Smalls, do me a favor. Tell Smalls.
I muted him for myself by
He didn't
accident.
server mute him.
I didn't server mute him.
No,
My bad. I thought I server muted you.
Yeah, there's no question that there's black on black violence. It's not even disproportionate, to be quite honest. Like I said, the numbers of white on white murder is 85%. The numbers of black on black murder is 90%. So it's not disproportionate. But they don't call it white on white crime. They call it black on black crime because it's a weaponized term used for politics. So when you use that term, you can say it's nothing wrong with saying there's black on black violence or wanting to help your people. That's cool. But just understand when you call it black on black crime, I want you to go find me something where they're consistently talking about white on white crime, and the number is 5% less.
No, I
so
agree.
Your point, hold on, let me finish. So your point about that their number one leading cause of death is not firearms. What you should be pointing, what that points to is an American social ill, not a black on black ill. That's not we shouldn't, because see, now if I wanted to be technical, right? And I think this is what Corey was saying. If we're also saying about how many what whites kill, then we'd have to also take into account how many white people do they kill across the globe. See, so now when he starts talking,
Kiana,
I'm
can you
assuming
grab
that's
these
what
lights?
Corey's talking about. When Corey was talking about
These are the last two.
Oh yeah, when Corey was talking about how they kill in ways that you don't even imagine. Remember, if we're gonna do the white on white, if we're gonna do the white black thing, then what about the military and the drones and all the murder we do all over the globe? We just gonna focus on the kids in Chicago though.
No,
Come on,
I
man.
agree. I agree with you on that point. I really do. My only rebut was to your point about the disparity, because you brought up the statistic about the 85% versus 95%. My only point was within that it's disproportionate against black men, which is why the number one cause of death is homicide amongst black men.
And that's why I mean we could focus on the violence in our community. I'm just saying when you put the term, I just want people to understand the term black on black crime was created by the media and politics to paint us as savages right after it came out during the crack era. And then after that, then they used it to push forth the 94 crime bill That's when you started hearing terms like super predators and this, that, and the other. So when you're saying these, I'm just saying, just the black on black term is just not. It's a politicized, weaponized tool against black people. Us using it, it doesn't further or help us at all. We can recognize violence in our community without saying it's black on black crime.
So
Yeah,
you
I
think
agree.
we
I
should go
agree.
against the department? So do you
I
think
agree
black
with
people
the
should go against
criticize.
the Department of Justice because they say it?
The Department of Justice, no, the FBI and the Department of Justice and any local police department, when they classify crime, they classify it as a type of crime, a robbery, a murder, a homicide. They do not
I'm
classify
looking at
crime
it
by
right now on
race.
the Department of Justice website, and they talking
And what?
about black on black homicide, a psychological, political
Yeah, do
perspective.
they say black on black crime?
It says black. Yes,
It says
that's
the
the title
words
of it.
black
Black
on
on
black
black
crime.
homicide.
No, then you're not listening to what I'm
Oh,
saying. Black on
okay.
black crime is a specific
You saying
term.
black on black? I thought you
The
was
words. I'm
honing
saying
in
the
on black
words.
on black.
No,
I
no,
thought
no,
that's
no,
what you
no,
was
no.
doing.
No. I'm saying the term. The term black on black crime is a political
Get him,
tool.
chef.
The
Get him,
words.
chef.
Yeah, you already know you about to say something crazy because Fetty agree with you. Go ahead, Chef. Go ahead. Hear what you about to say.
Listen, I'm having a hard time with this one with y'all today. I ain't gonna lie.
But why wasn't you
Like
speaking?
I'm
Corey
not.
was speaking though. Cause see, I want to see you and
Listen.
Corey disagree. I want to hear y'all go back and forth.
Go get him back on.
No, he was here. He was speaking directly to you, and you didn't say a word. Nothing.
No, listen. Go get him. I can defend that black on black crime is a real thing. I don't care what you niggas say. I don't care if y'all don't like it. I don't care if y'all don't like it. Yo, reality is reality. You think what I'm saying? I live in the black city. Nigga, that's black on black crime that happened here. It ain't nobody else doing that shit to them.
Crime is interracial.
Yeah, and they
it
all
happens
black,
in
so
your
it's
community.
a black person committing a crime against another black person.
No, all races kill within their own group. Mostly kill within their own group. It ain't black on black.
Do you think that helps you?
Yes, it does. Because
do you
you
think
don't.
that means that that's not black on black crime?
No, it's not, because there's no such thing as
the
white
very
on white crime.
definition
No.
of it.
There's no term. You don't hear the term. You don't hear the term Puerto Rican on Puerto Rican crime. You don't hear the term Asian on Asian crime. You don't hear the term white on white crime. Why? Because they don't have to politicize that. No, it's the media and the news that you fall for.
Well, let me tell you why I think black on black crime actually became a thing for black people, right? Because I remember when black people used the damn term, right? And when black people was using the term, they was coming out of the historical segregation, Jim Crow, the violence that was precipitated on black people by white people. So when we start moving up the cities and we start doing the shit to ourselves, black people start saying, yo, that's a crime that we're actually committing black on black crime. It ain't the white man doing it to us now, we doing it to ourselves. That's what they start saying. It's a real thing. It was a sentiment in the black community. Maybe y'all don't live in the black community. I made this up. You feel me? I made this up, but black people actually felt this way. Matter of fact, outside of the internet, black people do feel this way. Y'all are unicorns. You feel me? I can explain this to anybody else on the street, and I guarantee you, we won't be arguing about that shit.
Right.
We wouldn't be arguing about that shit. I'm a barber. I'm in a barber shop with black people all day, every day. We talk about black on black crime. We ain't crying about it's being political. It's a real thing. We're acknowledging what goes on in our community. Like, it's crazy.
I tell you what, Chef. Like, I don't like the terminology. I don't believe in it. But do I believe that there's a bigger systemic problem with black people or underlying issue? I do. And I'll say it's more of an economic. So it's more the shit that we're coming out of and the shit that we face. It's not nothing that's wrong with us. you know, and so that phraseology kind of lends credence. That's why I don't like to use it, because its origins were, lending credence that like there's something wrong with these niggas, but yeah, I
But
will say that
we're talking about us. We're having a conversation amongst us, though.
Yeah,
amongst
but
That's
us,
what I'm
right? Yeah,
you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
talking about
Like,
a very small percentage of people in the black community are driving the largest share of the killings. This is not evident of the black
but
community.
you're not
That's
talking to
why
a
it
white
becomes
man, though.
dangerous. No, I know,
And
Chef, but it's
that's not
dangerous when
true
you
for
say black
no
and white.
other ethnic group. That's not
Yeah,
true.
yeah, and
But
that's what I was about to say.
but that still doesn't make it black on black crime. Listen, the context
Right,
y'all
right.
leaving out is that
I
whites,
don't
once
understand.
again,
I don't
correct me,
understand.
whites, Latinos, and others kill mostly within their own race. This is not like a unique thing. What's unique to us, though, and this is why I'm about to put on my full Blackology uniform and my hat with my pins, is that we are the ones that got hit with concentrated poverty, fucking redlining,
Yeah, that's what I'm
segregation,
saying.
crack epidemic, heavy policing.
Right.
All of that magnifies these rates
So,
at a heavy police. Yeah, see, if that's your response, then have at it,
Basically
man.
saying what we crying
That,
about.
that's
So
exactly
why the hell do we
what I
sit
was
here?
trying to
yeah,
say,
you got to
Brass.
deal with it.
So why the hell do we sit here
That
and
don't
talk
mean you
and,
start
and
killing each
defend
other.
all those
That don't mean
elders?
you start killing each other.
Right.
Well, so
If
what are
people
you
are gonna kill
saying?
each other,
Yeah,
The
I
bigger
know we got to.
problem, the
I
bigger, the
know
are
we
you,
bigger
got to
are you
deal
trying to
problem.
with this.
portray a world where people don't kill each other?
Yeah, the biggest problem is not us being black. The biggest problem is we got access to guns. We don't have a lot of
Right.
access to cash, and it's
Right.
a structural set disadvantage for these people. And once again, I'm gonna say this to you. This
War
is
don't
a
make you
very
kill people,
small,
bro. Like,
concentrated
Wait, I thought we were
segment
talking
of
about
the black.
crime. We talking about just murders in
No,
general.
we're talking about murder. Well, I mean, crime in general if you want, but he's talking about murder because he said why the homicide rate. But my point, the reason why I'm speaking
War don't make you kill
Gangs,
people.
bro. You can't stop gangs from killing. Man,
no,
Or
this is a
poverty
small,
does not.
concentrated